Something big just went down in Nanfeng village. Wu Shan's wife was mauled to death by a tiger while foraging for mushrooms up the mountain. Her body's barely gone cold. Old Lady Wu's already scheming to boot out the daughter her daughter-in-law left behind, Su Wanshu, right out of the house.
You money-losing brat! If you're dying, do it outside! Don't you dare croak in my yard!
Seeing Su Wanshu wasn't stirring, she snatched up a switch and lashed it across Su Wanshu's body with vicious cracks. Each stinging snap of the switch against skin had the villagers peeking from the doorway, wincing like it was their own flesh. That is when the pain yanked Su Wanshu back to consciousness.
Where the hell am I?
Su Wanshu clutched her pounding head. A rush of memories that weren't hers flooded her mind. Su Wanshu, the divine healer from a future world, never could have imagined that she'd meet her en route to treat a patient. Her private jet exploded mid-flight, hurling her soul into this forsaken 14-year-old. Nobody with the same name. No one to love or mourn her. And the moment she crossed over, that bizarre rash on her face got her dumped by her fee. Now her own grandma's out to beat her dead.
You little wretch! Get out now! Dare drop dead in my courtyard, and I'll grind your bones to dust and scatter the ashes. After finishing the rites, he spoke up. Did you catch what I just said?
Seeing Su Wanshu stay dead silent, she lunged to grab the rattan switch in her hand and lash him again. The whistling rattan switch hurtling toward him didn't land on Su Wanshu, but was caught tight in his grip. Old Mrs. Wu gaped at Su Wanshu, utterly dumbfounded. He is grown this big already, and never once stood up to anyone. What has gotten into him today? Running a fever. That is addled his brain.
Old Mrs. Wu. Since my foster mother has passed away, once I finish the funeral rites, I won't owe your family a thing anymore. Starting today, deaths are deaths. Roads are roads.
Old Mrs. Wu yanked at the rattan switch, but it wouldn't budge, and she snarled viciously.
Well, isn't that just perfect? Little Jinx always dragging down our family's luck just by being here. Now get the hell out, and stop being an eyesore!
I can leave, sure. But the dowry my foster mother brought to the Wu family back then, I deserve a third of it as Su Wanshu. If you won't give me that third, I ain't going anywhere easy.
Old Mrs. Wu never saw it coming. The usually timid Su Wanshu, who wouldn't even utter a peep, was now standing up to her, demanding Wang Kui's dowry. She felt a surge of rage boiling in her chest, nearly choking her to spit blood right there.
You little rascal! The Wu family raised you from nothing for 14 whole years. And you can't even show a shred of gratitude! Now you want your foster mother's dowry too! Not a chance in hell!
With that, old Mrs. Wu tried to swing at Su Wanshu again, but Su Wanshu wasn't one to be pushed around anymore.
Su Wanshu, you little bastard! How dare you lay a hand on me! Let me tell you something. If you think you can grab the silver from the Wu family and just walk away, don't even dream about it! Not unless I'm dead and buried!
You don't get to call the shots here. We'll let Li Zheng sort this out.
Fine. Then go ahead and find Li Zheng. Our family's been sending him festival gifts every New Year and holiday. I'd love to see if Li Zheng takes your side.
Old Lady Wu wasn't the least bit scared of Su Wanshu. She was just an orphan girl. What kind of trouble could she stir up? Li Zheng's got better things to do than meddle in some young adopted girl's mess.
Aunt Wu, what is all this ruckus about this time?
Old Lady Wu never dreamed Li Zheng would actually show up.
Senhu, what brings you here?
Su Wanshu got dumped by her fiancé today.
And now she's throwing a fit at home. Perfect timing. You can settle this for us.
Su Wanshu's saying she wants to move out.
Foster mother passed away, and we've got plenty of men in the family if she wants to leave.
That is all well and good.
But then Uncle Suwan pipes up and demands Deshawn's wife's dowry from me. Tell me, what kind of world is it where an adopted daughter claims her foster mother's dowry?
Old Lady Wu opened her mouth and instantly cast herself as the poor victim. Not a peep about how she just thrashed Su Wanshu with a rattan whip.
No one's ever heard of such a thing. Little uncle. Is that really how it went down?
Uncle Senhu, please save me.
With that, Su Wanshu dropped to her knees with a thud on the ground.
Uncle Senhu said, if I keep living in the Wu family, I'm afraid I won't survive. Please, let me split off and live on my own. As for my adoptive mother's dowry, she pawned it all off.
when she found me.
It came from the valuable jewelry I was wearing. If you don't believe me, Uncle Sanhu, you can go to the town pawn shop and check the old records. On the items she pawned, they're all engraved with the 3 words Su Wanshu.
Sure enough, Mrs. Wu's face turned ghastly pale upon hearing Su Wanshu's words. Her expression soured in an instant.
Fu, what nonsense are you spouting? Your adoptive mother came as a refugee. What could she possibly have to pawn?
If it weren't for the money my adoptive mother brought, how did the Wu family manage in just 10 short years to not only build this grand courtyard in the village, but also open 2 shops in town and buy dozens of acres of prime land? Why don't you tell the villagers just what profitable business the Wu family did to turn 3 thatched huts into this vast estate?
Su Wanshu's question left Mrs. Wu utterly speechless. She could hardly confess to everyone that ever since Wang Kui joined the family, whenever she went up the mountain to forage for mushrooms, she'd stumble upon reishi mushrooms and ginseng. No one would believe a word of it anyway.
The dowry my adoptive mother brought to the Wu family. I want 1/3 of it back. That is not asking too much, right?
Liu Sanhu nodded. Judging by Su Wanshu's argument, it doesn't seem unreasonable. Old Lady Wu's tighter with money than a miser guarding his hoard. Trying to pry even a coin loose from her pocket would be like asking for her very life.
This all goes back over a decade now. Who could possibly remember exactly what dowry Wang Kui brought over?
5th aunt, I know just the one.
Su Wanshu glanced over at Liu Xiang. It was her who sent for the village head.
Wang Kui and I tied the knot the same year. My mother-in-law wouldn't shut up about Wang Kui's dowry list for years on end. Even though it has been 10 years since, I can still rattle it off word for word.
20 tiles of stamped silver ingots, a pair of silver bracelets, a pair of silver earrings,
6 bolts of assorted fabrics,
4 camphor wood armoires, a set of table and chairs, a carriage, 1 yellow ox, 10 mu of prime farmland. That is the dowry list right there. I'd remember it another 10 years from now. In all my born days, I've never seen a girl head off to her wedding
with a dowry, including 20 taels of silver.
Old Lady Wu nearly keeled over on the spot as Liu Shang recited Wang Kui's dowry list verbatim, barely keeping her feet before she might have fainted dead away. Having to hand over 1/3 of all this to Su Wanshu, might as well just take her life outright. That'd be a mercy.
Now that everything's laid out plain as day, 5th aunt, go on and split the family then.
Watching the long-term laborers out in the field, Wu Shang from Zhenghangdao heard the family was at it again. He came trotting all the way back home. The moment he stepped through the door, he overheard Liu Sanhu demanding they split the family.
Brother Sang-ho, we can't put this off any longer. How is an unmarried girl supposed to make it on her own if we force her out like this? People will be gossiping behind our backs non-stop.
Second uncle, Dad knows the Liang family called off the wedding today, and it has got you all torn up inside. So you're taking it out on Grandma, wanting to split off on your own. Hurry up and apologize to Grandma. Come on, and we'll put this whole mess behind us. Once that rash clears up, I'll line up some new prospects for you.
Marriage stuff. Dad?
I've made up my mind. I'm leaving today.
If I stay under the Wu roof,
I'm scared I won't even make it to Mom's 7th day rites.
As Su Wanshu's eyes brimmed with tears, big fat drops rolling down her cheeks. She'd already been pushed to the edge by Old Lady Wu's torment. And now this sobbing fit had everyone with a shred of compassion in the room breaking down right along with her.
Yeah? Take a look. This is all from Grandma laying into me. And these aren't just wounds to the heart, they're on the body too.
Su Wanshu tugged at her collar, pulling it aside just enough to expose a deep purple bruise along her collarbone. Wu Shan shot Grandma Wu a hard glare. The old lady really lost all sense of measure this time. Couldn't you pick spots that stay hidden? The Wu family's bringing down real karma on themselves, ruining a perfectly good girl like this.
At least when her adoptive mother was alive, she could still have a sip of soup. Now even Uncle Wan, I'm afraid, can't even get a bite of wild greens or a cornmeal bun. It is no small feat. She has survived this long. Just the other day, I saw Uncle Wan so starved, he was shaking. Out at the village edge, stripping bark and digging roots to eat. Poor thing, really.
Wu Shan overheard the villagers' chatter, her face turning blacker than the bottom of a pot.
A daughter of the Wu family
Either dies at home or gets married off.
No way is she moving out on her own to study before she is wed. Even if she is to be married off, it'll be by her parents' command and the matchmaker's word.
That one phrase, parents' command, matchmaker's word, like a massive boulder, has crushed the marriages of countless women. In her heart, Su Wangshu seethed with hatred for this vile feudal society. But if only she were a boy, there wouldn't be all these hassles.
Third uncle. Sorry you had to see this today. Uncle Wen, this girl's just been through a shock from her mother's sudden passing. That is why she's acting out a bit. I'll get a doctor to take a look at her later, and make sure to find her a good match down the line.
Su Wanshu's brows furrowed slightly, her gaze drifting outside the courtyard wall. A fresh-faced young lad flashed a wide grin at Su Wangshu. Suddenly, an idea struck Su Wanshu.
Sis, then marry me off right now. As long as it is not some fool. I'll take whatever family it is. I have to get out of this house today. If you won't agree, I'll jump in the well right now and join my real mom.
How'd I forget about that? You little wretch. Didn't you say you don't want to marry a fool? Well then, I'll just marry you off to that fool. I'll see just how long you can hold out. Guihua, you've only got the one boy at home. Why not just have Wenshu marry into your family as your boy's wife?
My place? I did want Wenshu to marry Xiaoyan, but we're so dirt poor. We're about to not even have a pot to piss in. Where would we find extra grain to feed Wanshu?
You just need to take in Uncle Wan. I'll give your family 1 tael of silver as dowry. Then I'll have a bite to eat.
Seeing young Guihua waver, old Lady Wu's smile deepened.
Fifth aunt, can't you show a shred of humanity? You know full well how tough things are for Guihua's family. So why shove her into the fire?
Liu Xiang, don't spout nonsense here. How is marrying my nephew throwing her into the fire? That is a whole tael of silver. Listen here, Liu Xiao. If she doesn't marry into the Xiao family tonight, I'll dump her right on your doorstep. Your eldest boy's still unwed, isn't he? I won't even ask for a bride price. A free daughter-in-law, gift wrapped.
In an instant, the two were shouting the roof down. If not for Liu Sanhu stepping in, they'd have come to blows by now. Amid the crowd's shoving, Yang Guihua was jostled right up to Su Wangshu. Su Wanshu looked up, their eyes locking in that moment. Those eyes, they felt so achingly familiar. Yang Guihua's innocent gaze met Su Wangshu's, and on impulse, she whispered,
You?
Wanshu, my dear girl, Mama's come to take you home.
Okay.
Su Wanshu's voice is soft and glutinous. It melted Yang Guihua's heart completely. She hurried over to Liu Xiang.
Sister-in-law, I want Wenshu.
Guihua, how are you gonna raise her?
Wenshu,
You can't even look after Xiaoyan properly.
I can handle raising a late bloomer. I'll just get up a bit earlier in the mornings and take extra wild veggies.
Wangcheng's folks, you sure about marrying Xiaoyan into Uncle Man's family? We gotta make this crystal clear.
As a daughter-in-law, the boy's a looker, and Xiaoyan's pretty too.
Think you Guancheng go for it?
What I say goes in my house.
Okay, then it is a done deal. Wu Shan, come write up the contract. From now on, Xiaoyan will be Uncle Wan's daughter-in-law, part of the old Xiao family.
Wu Shan, Yang Guihua, Li, Liu Sanhu, 1 copy each.
Wang, now that I'm married, the family property my foster mom left me, can I finally get it back?
you little wretch. So you've been biding your time here, huh? Don't you dare try taking a single coin from the Wu family. Not unless I'm dead!
It is all mine anyway. You've been hogging it for years, and now I'm only asking for a third. That is going above and beyond for Wu Shan. You refusing to hand it over, then I'll drag you all to the Yamen. In this whole world, is there no place left for justice?
Su Wanshu's voice wasn't loud, but it had Liu Sanhu creasing his brow. If word of this reaches the Yamen, the county magistrate'll chew out this Li Zheng for sure.
Fifth young master, you can't let a moment's folly ruin everything.
Wu Shan knows. He's gotta swallow this bitter pill today. Wu Shan had no choice but to hand over 5 taels of silver and a pair of silver bracelets to Su Wangshu. Old Lady Wu watched as the gleaming silver slipped away, still scheming to throw a tantrum and snatch it back. Wei Wuxian stepped forward and blocked her path.
Wanshu, from now on, you're my daughter. Mom, it'll take good care of you.
Su Wanshu flashed her a big grin. He hadn't misjudged her after all.
Mom, I've got plenty of strength. Let me carry my bride on my back.
Su Wanshu gazed at the young man's back, froze for a moment, feeling a bit flustered.
my dear wife. I'll carry you home.
The villagers watched Xiao Muyan, that silly young lad, actually showing real tenderness for his bride, and it all clicked for them.
All right. Let's call it even. Everyone, head on home now. Little Yan, you treat your wife right from here on out.
I will.
Nothing, Su Wangshu. Whether he can even keep her fed is anybody's guess.
Gehua, little uncle's still burning up with fever. We'd better hustle him over to Dr. Liu's for a look.
Xiao Muyan hoisted Su Wanshu onto his back and strode off toward the village barefoot doctor's Dr. Liu's place. After Dr. Liu examined Su Wanshu's condition, he let out a sigh and shook his head, just prescribing a bit of fever-reducing decoction and sending them on their way.
Gehua, you take Wanshu home first. I'll head to town and ask Dr. Feng to take a look at Uncle Wan.
Yang Guihua brought Su Wanshu back to her own home, brewed some fever-reducing herbal decoction, and had him drink it down.
Little uncle, don't you worry. Just drink this bitter herbal brew, and I'll give you some candy.
Little Yan, thank you. I don't like candy.
Xiao Muyan, standing nearby, watched Su Wanshu down the medicine, absolutely dumbfounded.
Little uncle, you're incredible. Swallowing medicine that bitter like it is nothing.
Yang Guihua felt Su Wanshu's forehead. It was still running hot, so she piled every thick quilt in the house on top of him.
Wanshu, you get some sleep now. Sweat it out, and the fever will break.
Su Wanshu nodded. He really needed the rest right now. Only after building up his strength could he figure out how to purge the poison from his body.
Little Yan, why don't you go out and play and let Wanshu sleep without disturbance?
Mom, little uncle's sick, so I'll go rustle up some food for Uncle Wan.
All right, but you're not to go up the mountain alone, or I'll tell your dad.
Xiao Muyan skipped out the door with a bounce. Su Wanshu watched his back as he went, a soft smile playing on his lips. He couldn't even remember the last time he'd connected with someone so purely innocent. Su Wanshu gazed at the rundown little cabin, yet a deep sense of warmth filled her heart. The house might be a bit worn down, but as long as Yang Guihua treats her kindly, everything can still turn around. She mused to herself. Whether as Yang Guihua's daughter or daughter-in-law, she felt utterly content either way. Su Wanshu checked the wounds on her body. By chance, she noticed a faded red cord around her neck, adorned with a small jade piece amulet. Su Wanshu was utterly astonished. Where on earth did this come from? Could it be a gift from her adoptive mother? But why isn't it in her memories? As Su Wanshu pondered deeply, a sudden flash of white light erupted. Su Wanshu found herself standing in a radiant mystical realm.
Am I trapped in here? How do I get out?
With a mere thought from Su Wanshu, a flicker appeared before her eyes, and she was back in the familiar cabin. The peace amulet, once dull and lifeless, now shimmered with faint, flowing lights on its surface. Su Wanshu entered the mystical realm once more, circling the small hill with curiosity. There, at the base of the hill, protruded a striking stalactite. Nestled between the stones, hung a tiny droplet, hovering as if about to fall yet suspended in time. Directly beneath the droplet lay a fist-sized stone hollow. The hollow was slightly damp, yet held no water. Instinctively, Su Wanshu reached out to catch the droplet, feeling its cool touch as it met her palm. In the blink of an eye, the tiny droplet seeped into her hand and straight into her very core.
What in the world is happening?
Su Wanshu wrapped his palm, looking utterly puzzled. The hand that had just gotten splashed with those water droplets was turning smooth and fair right before his eyes. The calluses and scars on it were flaking away one by one, as fresh skin slowly grew in their place. In the blink of an eye, Su Wanshu's right hand had completely transformed.
Holy crap! This is straight up miraculous!
He is a divine healer, mind you, and he has come across tons of remedies that toughen up the body, but nothing's ever stacked up to this. Just one drop, and his right hand was reborn. With spiritual spring water this powerful, what poison could possibly scare? Su Wanshu thrilled beyond words. Su Wanshu wished he could scoop up a bowl and down it right then and there. He stood under the stalactite, waiting forever, but not a single droplet formed on the stone marrow. Su Wanshu's heart plummeted in that instant. Looks like spiritual spring water isn't something you get just by wanting it. Su Wanshu was bone-tired for real. He stepped out of his storage space, and promptly crashed into a deep sleep. No telling how much time passed when Yang Guihua slipped into the room with a steaming bowl of porridge.
By now,
Su Wanshu was fast asleep. Yang Guihua set the porridge aside and gently tucked the quilt around Su Wanshu.
Little uncle's fallen ill. Whatever will we do with no food in the house? If only we had a chicken to help little uncle build up his strength.
It wasn't that Yang Guihua was unwilling to spend her silver to buy food for Su Wanshu. She was holding out for Dr. Fang to come examine Wanshu.
The fool married a sickly girl for a wife. The fool married a sickly girl for a wife.
Shao Muyan frowned deeply, yelling loudly at the kids.
Little uncle isn't sickly. He'll get better real soon. Don't you dare talk nonsense. If you say that again, I'll beat you up.
The fool's gonna hit us! The fool's gonna hit us!
Hearing Shao Muyan threaten to beat them, the kids took off running. Shao Muyan shouldered his basket and headed up Bluestone Hill. He was foraging some food for little uncle. It was smack in the middle of the lean season. After scraping by through the winter, the farmers' rice jars were bone dry, so they had no choice but to head up the hills for wild greens and snare a bit of small game to fill their bellies. It was exactly because there was nothing to eat at home that Xiao Guansheng had set out early to hunt in the mountains. Otherwise, the whole family would have had to go hungry.
Cluck, 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 cluck.
Xiao Muyan pushed forward a few meters when 2 reed pheasants charged right at him. The 2 pheasants, heaven knows why, were locked in a fierce scrap, trampling the tall wild grass flat.
Wow. Pheasants.
As Xiao Muyan let out a shout, the startled pheasants latched onto each other's necks and bit each other dead.
Man, these pheasants are heavy.
Not far from the pheasants, there were 2 nests of pheasant eggs. Shao Muyan scooped them all into his basket. Now little uncle won't go hungry anymore. Shao Muyan made it back to the village, and plenty of folks spotted the pheasants in his basket.
Xiaoyan, where'd you get this pheasant from?
Xiao Muyan's auntie Wang Feng leaned in close, peering into Xiao Muyan's back basket.
Xiao Muyan, heard your mom got you a wife. Can't tell at all. Your mom's pretty clever. Su Wanshu, that ugly girl, came with 5 taels of silver as dowry for you. You've struck gold.
Little bro-in-law, she ain't ugly.
Oh. Xiao Muyan, you little fool. Su Wanshu's face is covered in red rashes. Even if she pulls through, she'll be left with a face full of pockmarks.
You're the pockmarked one. Your whole family's pockmarked.
Xiao Muyan, you little dope. You've even picked up cursing. Keep it up, and I'll beat you senseless.
Wang Feng grumbled, bending down to snatch a rock from the dirt, then glanced up, only to see Xiao Muyan had already scampered off, way down the path. Wang Feng glared at Xiao Muyan's back and sneered. 2 plump pheasants like that. I ain't letting Yang Guihua's fool boy hog 'em all. Gotta go wheedle some back for myself. And while I'm at it, squeeze a few taels of silver out of them. That'd be the cherry on top. Dr. Fang, called in by Liu Xiang, was carefully checking Su Wanshu's pulse.
Dr. Fang, give her a proper look. What is really wrong with our new bride?
Alas, in all my decades practicing medicine, I've never come across a case quite like this. This affliction. I'm helpless. No medicine can touch it.
Dr. Fang, please check her over once more. It is just breaking out in rashes. How can it be beyond curing? Our new bride. She seems just fine, doesn't she?
Yang Guihua's anxiety brought tears streaming down her face. Su Wanshu's fever raged on without breaking, fresh red rashes erupting non-stop across her body. Without the right remedy, death's the only end in sight. Liu Xiang, hearing Dr. Fang's grim words, had no answers herself, just sighed heavily at the side. He was dead set against it from the start, but Yang Guihua went ahead and brought Su Wanshu into the family anyway. What a mess we're in now. The new bride's barely through the door, and she is gone. And the whole village is itching to start wagging their tongues about it.
Little brother-in-law, what in the world are we gonna do? Oh, how are we ever gonna fix this?
Ma, don't you worry now. I'll pull through, I promise. Got any embroidery needles around here?
Yeah, 喂主噶.
Mom, and fetch me a wooden basin too.
Yang Guihua let out a gasp, and she hurried off to grab 2 embroidery needles and a wooden basin for him. Su Wanshu propped himself up halfway and jabbed the needle into his right shoulder and left hand. Dark red beads of blood plopped into the basin.
Little uncle's bleeding!
Yang Guihua caught sight of blood trickling from Su Wanshu's index finger, and it scared her half to death. She didn't even pause to think, rushing up to clamp down on the wound in his hand.
Mom, I'm alright. Just gotta drain this poison blood, and I'll be right as rain.
Liu Xiang had just gotten back from seeing off Dr. Fang, and as she crossed the threshold, she spotted the basin brimming with Su Wanshu's blood.
What on earth is going on here?
Su Wanshu repeated his explanation to Yang Guihua once more. Su Wanshu, you're such a frail little thing. Can't risk letting out too much. Feels like a weight's lifted off me a bit. So quick. Staunch the bleeding on my hand. Liu Xiang slipped over to the doorway, beckoning Yang Guihua out into the yard and murmuring a warning.
Guihua, if little uncle doesn't pull through, whatever you do, don't let him go in the house. Lay him out on the door panel by the entrance. He is just a young un. The fourth untimely ended is bad juju for your whole family.
Little uncle ain't gonna die. Aunt Liu, don't you ever say stuff like that again.
Shao Muyan, fresh back with a basket slung over his shoulder, caught every word of their hushed talk.
Mom, I snagged 2 wild pheasants. So get him stewing for little uncle right away. Once he gets that pheasant down, he'll be good as new.
Little Yan, you headed up into the hills.
Mom, I didn't go. You said there were tigers up in the mountains. Little Yan wouldn't dare go there. I found a pheasant in the weeds down at the foot of the hill. Pheasants love hiding in those wild grass patches. After all, I always listen to Mom and Dad. This was picked from the wild grass patch.
Guihua, you know, Shaoyan, this kid never lies.
Little Tree's mom was just mauled to death by a tiger. I'm scared.
Mom, I don't have any more pheasants to give to little uncle, so little uncle will get better.
All right.
Mom, I'll go stew some pheasant for little uncle right now.
The Shao family shack is tiny. Voices drifting in from the courtyard. Su Wanshu could hear every word. Right now, Su Wanshu's heart was a whirlwind of emotions. It hurt so much. In her past life, she was a revered divine healer. Everyone fawned over her. But deep down she knew, among them all, not one truly cared for her. It was all just mutual exploitation, each taking what they needed. Blood revitalized by the spiritual spring water coursed through her entire body. By mid-afternoon, Su Wanshu's fever finally broke, and her mind cleared from the fog. Shao Muyan washed her hands, then plopped down by Su Wanshu's bedside, grinning goofily at her.
Xiaoyan, why do you keep staring at me?
'Cause little uncle's so handsome.
I want some water.
Shao Muyan scampered off happily to pour water for Su Wanshu, and took a quick sip herself to test the temperature. Su Wanshu, ever the germaphobe, stared at Shao Muyan, absolutely speechless. How am I supposed to drink from a cup she has already sipped?
I can't drink this one. Pour me a fresh one.
Okay.
Xiao Mu tilted his head back and drained the water from the black clay bowl, then poured another bowl for Su Wanshu.
Is there anything to eat at home? My stomach's growling.
I'll go check if the pheasant eggs are boiled yet.
As soon as Xiao Muyan stepped out the door, Su Wanshu quickly slipped the black pottery bowl from her hand into the spiritual spring space. She set the big black bowl right in the pit beneath the stone marrow, and it fit perfectly. Now we've got the big black bowl right here. From now on, not a single drop of spiritual spring from the stone marrow will go to waste. Wang Feng had just stepped through the Shao family courtyard gate when she spotted Yang Guihua already simmering that pheasant away.
Yang Guihua, you silly thing. Why'd you get a move on so quick today?
Already got it on the stove, huh? Wang Feng's beady little eyes darted quick around the yard. That sour face from moments ago lit up with a greedy grin in a flash. Tucked in Shao Muyan's back basket, there sat another plump wild pheasant, fat as you please.
Guihua, oh Guihua, killing chickens at your place today, eh?
Wang Feng eyed the stray feathers scattered round the yard, then sidled up to Yang Guihua with a beaming, scheming smile. Feng Moyan, peeling eggs for the ailing Su Wanshu inside the house, caught the sound of Wang Feng's voice and went straight on high alert.
Xiaoyan, what is up?
Uncle, Mom's a bad guy. She tricked me out of my candy. Quick, stash those eggs away. Don't let eldest aunt catch sight of them.
'Cause Wang Feng ain't here for a handful of eggs. No, She has got her eye on those 2 wild pheasants we brought home.
Eldest sister-in-law's here. I was coming back from the fields just now and ran into Xiaoyan with a pair of wild pheasants she'd nabbed. Our Jinbao's at the schoolhouse studying all day long, wearing his poor little brain out. So lend me one of those pheasants to build the boy back up a bit. And down the line, once Jinbao tops the imperial exams, lands himself a big government post, he won't forget his third aunt here. I promise ya.
Wang Feng had pulled this studying kid routine plenty before, swindling all sorts of stuff right out of Yang Guihua's hands with it. To Yang Guihua's simple way of thinking, any kid heading off to school must be something special, bound for real success down the road. She could stand a little hardship herself, no problem. But no way was she letting a studying child go hungry. But not today. She couldn't. Those pheasants were for Savin Suwanshu's life. Hand one over to Jinbao. That poor little uncle of yours is probably not gonna make it.
Sister-in-law, this pheasant's for my little uncle to eat. Once Wancheng gets back from the mountains, I'll bring some food for Jinbao too. Guanghua, you're such a fool. What the heck is Su Wanshu anyway? I heard what the doctor said. Su Wanshu's definitely beyond saving. You're wasting a fine pheasant like that on a dead man walking. Ain't ya? Little uncle, you'll be just fine, for sure. Don't jinx it.
Wang Feng let out a snort, too lazy to bother arguing with Yang Guihua. She turned and snatched the pheasant from her basket.
Eldest auntie, can't you show a little shame? Out of everyone in this yard, you're the healthiest and strongest, and you've got the nerve to take our stuff.
What do you mean, our stuff? This clearly belongs to the Shao family. Anything from the Shao family. What is so wrong with me taking a pheasant home to eat?
The old Shao family split up years ago. Eldest auntie, did that pheasant scramble your brains or what? It is all mush up there. You've forgotten already.
You little wench! Who the hell do you think you are? I'm your elder. How dare you talk to me like that? I think you've got a death wish.
Seeing Wang Feng acting so arrogant and bossy, Su Wanshu realized she'd bullied Zhao Muyan's family plenty of times before.
Eldest auntie, look. Our family's gone months without a whiff of meat. How can you have the gall to come freeloading at our place? Aren't you scared all those rotten things you've done? We'll make heaven turn a blind eye no more one day.
And come collecting. I'm just grabbing a pheasant for Jinbao to eat. Whether the old Shao family ever amounts to anything depends on my Jinbao. So he deserves a nice treat. Oh, you little wench. How dare you get rough with me?
Eldest auntie, little uncle's not a little wench. Grandma said that is you, and she wouldn't get it wrong. Help! Somebody! Eldest auntie's gonna beat my wife to death!
You little bastard. What the hell do you think you're doing? Xiaoyan went out and hunted that pheasant. How can you even think of coveting it? No shame at all.
How is the Shao Guangcheng family scraping by these days? Everybody in the village knows how tough it is for a guy with a limp to keep a family of 3 afloat. And Wang Feng's got the nerve to come mooching off Shao Guangcheng's place. If she has got the guts to try that at the Shao family's third son's house, just watch the third daughter-in-law tear her to shreds. Shao Guangli, the eldest of the Shao family, came rushing over at the sound of it and saw Wang Feng getting an earful from Liu Sanhu. He felt his face burning, too ashamed to show his face.
You damn nag. I'm busting my ass at the shop. What the hell are you stirring up here?
Xiao Guanglin, grinding his teeth, forcibly dragged Wang Feng back home. The Wang Feng who usually struts around the village like she owns it, today lost every shred of face and dignity, inside and out.
The sky lies still, awaiting the misty rain's soft veil. I'm waiting for wisps of cooking smoke to curl up slow. Across the river, 1,000 miles divide us from the lowland tree. I watch your gaze drift free and light. Just call me the quiet hint of our paths crossing someday.
Su Wanshu's already fragile after that fuss from Wang Feng. Her weak body spat up blood once more. The villagers figured she really wouldn't last much longer.
Mom, I'm okay. That blood I spat up just now, all to give them a scare.
For real?
Yang Guihua clearly wasn't buying it. She is gone and spat up blood. How could that not hurt bad?
Yan, I swear, I'm not fooling you. Didn't you stew up that pheasant for me? Right now, I could devour a whole big bowl of pheasant meat, and I'll be right as rain once I do.
Yang Guihua, tears streaking her face, nodded, half convinced. After easing Su Wanshu down onto the bed, she turned to check if the pheasant in the pot was done stewing yet. While Xiao Muyan stayed silent, not a word, just sitting there by Wanshu's bedside, stewing in a sulk.
Little Yan, what is eating at you, huh?
That big sister-in-law's a mean one, cussing like a fishwife.
Su Wan murmured, never dreamed Xiao Muyan would stand up for her like this. Su Wanshu whispered to herself, voicing the puzzle in her heart.
The little aunt's my sister-in-law now. See, Dad told me straight. A man's gotta dote on his wife.
Their eyes met, holding steady. Su Wanshu felt a strange flush creep up her cheeks. Right around noontime, a few women fresh from the fields clustered under the village's old locust tree to rest. The savory scent of wild pheasant stew drifted slow from the Xiao courtyard. The women swallowed hard, mouths watering, chattering away about the village ruckus from earlier.
Feng really crossed the line this time. The Xiao Guancheng place is scraping by as it is. He even went mooching, demanding their pheasants to eat.
Who could argue with that? He won't let it go that easy. Su Wanshu came with 5 taels of silver when she married into the Xiao family, and a pair of silver bracelets to boot. That is just what everyone figured, and they weren't off the mark. Once home, Wang Fengfeng poured out her woes to Xiao Guanli.
That's Su Wanshu, the second son, married into the family, but she came with a handsome dowry. So before Xiao Guancheng gets back, find a way to get me that silver.
Xiao Guanli let out a sigh and shook his head. He just can't bring himself to stoop to something like that.
This silver's for hiring a tutor for our Jinbao. Who knows? He might even pass the Tongsheng exam this fall.
Xiao Guanli dreamed every day that Xiao Jinbao would make a name for himself in the exams. Wang Feng's words had started to sway him a little.
I can't just show up at their door demanding the money, right?
Let's hold off a couple days. See if that Jinx Su Wangshu coughs up blood today. If she doesn't, once she is gone, we can have our dad step in to claim the silver. Dad dotes on Jinbao more than anyone.
Meanwhile, the Su Wanshu everyone was plotting against had just finished a bowl of pheasant soup and 4 pheasant eggs. Her empty stomach finally had something in it. Su Wanshu herself felt a bit more lively. Night was gradually falling as the howling north wind whistled through the cracks into the room.
Little uncle, you cold.
I'm okay.
Su Wanshu's hands and feet were ice cold under the quilt, and it felt awful.
Let me warm the bed for you. Mom says, I'm like a little furnace. You'll be all warm holding on to me.
Xiao Muyan didn't wait for Su Wanshu to respond. He kicked off his shoes and socks and burrowed right into her bedding. The divine Dr. Su from her previous life felt no embarrassment, having never shared a bed with any man before. But even this half-grown boy Xiao Muyan left her feeling uneasy.
Little Uncle Xiao Yan, you two get to sleep now. I'll work on some needlework for a while.
Mom, I can't sleep in the same bed as you.
Little uncle, you're my daughter-in-law, so you should share a bed with me.
Little brother-in-law, so let Xiao Yan bunk with you. He's got plenty of warmth. He'll keep your bed nice and toasty. You won't feel the chill at night.
Mother, you should turn in early too. That little oil lamp's too dim for the room. After all that sewing you've been doing all day.
Little uncle, look what I brought back for you.
The next day, she woke up to find herself alone in the house. Yang Guihua and Xiao Muyan had both gone out. SUW Shu inwardly scolded herself. How careless she'd been. Last night, she slept soundly without a single dream, right up until now. And she had 5 taels of silver right there in the house. If some thief had come sneaking in during the night, it would have made their already tough life even worse. With the house empty, Su Wanshu tucked the silver and the pair of silver bracelets into her personal storage dimension. She walked over to the spiritual spring water and saw a single crystal clear droplet shimmering at the bottom of the bowl. Her heart leaped with joy as she lifted the clay bowl to her lips. But then she paused, thinking better of it. This one drop of spiritual spring water today could surely neutralize the strange poison in her body and even help her fully transform her constitution. If that happened, the villagers might brand her a demon witch and burn her alive as an offering to the heavens.
Son.
Better to take it slow and steady. Su Wanshu grabbed the black clay bowl and poured in a bowl of plain water to dilute the spiritual spring water once more. She lifted it to her own lips, took a big gulp, and poured the rest into the household water jar.
This stuff's a real treasure. Qiao Muyan and Yang Guihua can sip a little each day. No need for 100 years of life. Just good health is enough.
Little uncle, Look what I've brought back.
Little Yan, how'd we end up with this big old water buffalo?
Mom shelled out 500 wen to rent it from the village. Mom says, buffalo milk's the best for building you up. You're still recovering. So you ought to drink plenty of it. Any calves the cow gives birth to this year will be ours too.
It is rented.
Song Wanshu wandered around the big water buffalo.
Young Guihua's probably been taken for a ride again.
Little uncle, you're awake. I'll go heat up some milk for you.
Let me help you get the fire going.
Little uncle, you head back to bed and rest. I've got more medicine ready for you. You really need to take it easy and recover these days.
After Yang Guihua said this, she grabbed a clay basin and went out to the yard to milk the buffalo. The big buffalo must have calved quite a while ago. Yang Guihua bustled about for half the morning, but only managed a small half basin of buffalo milk. She poured the milk into the pot and gently brought it to a simmer over low heat. The rich, creamy scent soon drifted through the courtyard. Xiao Muyan crouched nearby, gulping down his saliva with longing, but holding back from asking for a taste. Yang Guihua came back inside, carrying just a small bowl of warm buffalo milk. She beamed with delight as she held it out to Su Wangshu.
Little uncle, drink it while it is hot.
Su Wanshu took the bowl of milk, tilting his head back to take a sipe. When he noticed Xiao Muyan standing by the bed, he grabbed another clay bowl and split the milk between them. He passed one bowl to Xiao Muyan.
I can't finish all this on my own, so let's split it half for you, half for me.
It is from little uncle, so go on and have some.
Sure thing.
With Yang Guihua's okay, Xiao Muyan snatched up his share and chugged it down.
Mom, help me taste this milk. Is it sweet?
Su Wanshu grinned mischievously and held the milk to Yang Guihua's lips. Yang Guihua didn't hesitate and took a little sip. It is sweet.
So sweet and creamy.
After the buffalo milk, the three of them shared a simple bowl of cornmeal and veggie porridge. Yang Guihua then sent Xiao Muyan out to cut some fresh grass to feed the buffalo when he returned.
Little Yan, cut some more grass and bring it back. Feed the water buffalo well, so you can have milk to drink tomorrow.
Mom, I wanna go cut grass with Xiao Yan.
But you're still sick.
My fever's gone down already. I had some pheasant yesterday, and I feel stronger now. Mom, staying cooped up at home all day isn't good for me. Maybe if I head out and do a little work up a good sweat, the illness will be gone for good.
Yang Guihua couldn't hold out against Su Wangshu. He hemmed and hawed for a bit before finally agreeing to let Su Wangshu tag along with Xiao Muyan for a stroll, but she wasn't allowed to cut any grass.
Uncle, look over here. Look, some red wild berries here.
Those are ginseng berries.
The two walked side by side toward Qingshi Mountain. Along the way, they ran into some villagers. Su Wanshu sweetly called out to them as auntie and sis-in-law. She was quite the charmer.
Didn't that little rascal get beaten bloody by Wang Feng? How is she out and about already? She doesn't look like she is on her last legs.
Recalling the morning gossip about Yang Guihua renting a water buffalo, old lady Wu was starting to fret a bit. If Su Wanshu 再不死, kick the bucket soon, all the silver Yang Guihua's holding will get swindled clean by those village bastards. No, gotta come up with a plan fast. Once Su Wanshu stepped out of the village, her big sparkling eyes didn't miss a beat. She scanned the terrain around Nanfeng village, figuring out what herbs might grow in these parts.
Uncle, no buffalo grass over there.
Let's check it out. Who knows? Maybe there is.
Xiao Muyan led the way, thwacking the bushes with a thorny branch, while clearing the prickly branches for Su Wanshu. Seeing how thoughtful Xiao Muyan was, Su Wanshu couldn't help but think to herself.
Even a fool's more lovable than most folks.
Uncle, check this out. Red wild berries right here.
Is that ginseng?
Su Wanshu stepped forward uncertainly.
The berries look tasty.
Xiao Muyan reached for the red berries, but Su Wanshu stopped him. You can't just eat random stuff like that. Su Wanshu examined it closely, and sure enough, it was ginseng. Judging by the berry size, this ginseng's got some real age on it. Digging it up would fetch a pretty penny.
Little Yan, go grab 2 sticks about as thick as your fingers. Come on, let's dig up this ginseng together.
Xiao Muyan's built real sturdy. He snapped the stick right in two with a crack.
I'll mark out a circle for you. You dig the dirt around the outside. I'll handle the inside.
Sure thing. Digging holes is my absolute favorite.
With that, Xiao Moyan grabbed his stick and got to digging. He's got some real muscle. And in no time, he'd carved a shallow trench 4 fingers deep all around the ginseng. Ginseng roots sink deep into the earth. With Xiao Moyan's help, it only took half the afternoon before Su Wanshu pulled out a thumb-thick ginseng root.
Little uncle, I'm starving. I want to eat this radish.
This is what we're hauling to town to sell for cash. No eating it.
Su Wanshu carefully tucked the ginseng into her back basket, then scooped up some damp moss from the ground to cover it over. That moss will keep the ginseng fresh, so it doesn't dry out and lose weight.
Little uncle, I've been up on this mountain half the afternoon now, and my belly's rumbling like crazy. You wouldn't even let me have those red berries earlier. So come on, just let me nibble this white radish a bit.
Let's scout around and see if we can forage a few mushrooms to munch on.
The moment Jiang Moyan hears there is mushrooms to eat, she springs back to life right on the spot. Su Wanshu leads Xiao Moyan up to the mountain top, taking a careful look around for a bit before heading down along the eastern ridge. The path's rough and tricky to navigate, but they still managed to gather a bunch of those white steamed bun ones. True to its name, the white steamed bun monster looks just like a plump white steamed bun, no cap on top. These fungi pop up in droves after a good rain, thriving in those warm, damp spots. Xiao Moyan grabs a long stalk of dogtail grass and weaves through the bushes, stringing up a hefty bunch of mushrooms in no time.
Uncle, these white mushrooms are so tasty.
Let's pick a few more. These mushrooms look pretty big, but they shrink up quick once they hit the pan.
Nothing beats wild chicken, stewed with mushrooms.
Xiao Moyan recalls Yang Guihua's mushroom chicken stew, and suddenly his stomach growls even louder.
Mom, look, Uncle and I gathered tons of mushrooms.
So many mushrooms. We'll stir-fry 'em up for dinner tonight.
Mom, you gotta fry all these mushrooms. Don't hold back a single one.
With this many, and just the 3 of us, we might not polish 'em off.
These white steamed bun ones look hefty, but poof, they're gone in the pot.
Yang Guihua grabs the mushrooms and heads to the river to rinse them. Su Wanshu grabs a bamboo basket and carefully places the ginseng inside, then takes some fresh grass to feed the big water buffalo. Spotting the empty water in the buffalo's feed trough, he scoops a ladleful from the big water jar and pours it into the stone basin. A buffalo won't give much milk on just a handful of grass like that, so he has got to give her a proper feed to build her up.
Uncle, the way you're sipping that water is just so sweet.
Su Wanshu was utterly astonished inside. Xiang Moyan's got such a sharp tongue for flavors. She can even pick up the subtle taste of that spiritual spring water in the jar.
Mother, tomorrow we'll have money. You just come along with me to town.
Young uncle, are you fixing to spend those 5 taels of silver? We absolutely can't do that.
In the evening, Yang Guihua came in carrying wine and dishes. She traded mushrooms for it at the Luxiang place. White steamed buns and stir-fried leeks with a couple scoops of chicken broth stirred in. It is downright delicious. Yang Guihua and her family of 3 were scarfing it down, nearly swallowing their own tongues.
Yeah, I'm stuffed.
Tomorrow, we'll head to town together and get you some white steamed buns.
Young uncle, those white buns cost a pretty penny if you're craving them. Tomorrow I'll grab a pound of flour, 2 taels of meat, and whip it up right here at home for you.
Mother, tomorrow we'll have money. You just come along with me to town.
Young uncle, are you fixing to spend those 5 taels of silver? We absolutely can't do that. This silver's set aside for your medicine.
Mom, don't you fret. I was trekking the hills most of the day today. Worked up a real good sweat, and my body's feeling a whole lot lighter now. These rashes will clear up on their own real soon.
And the rashes really fade away like that?
Sure, can, Mom. You've gotta trust me on this.
After the meal, he showed Yang Guihua the ginseng he dug up from the mountain.
Mother, tomorrow, we sell this ginseng. We'll have cash in hand, and stock up on plenty of grain to bring home. Don't let a soul outside the family hear about this.
This really is ginseng.
It is ginseng, and it is a fine-aged one too.
Little uncle, tomorrow, I'll take you and Xiang Moyan into town.
The next day, Su Wanshu wrapped a ragged cloth over her face, taking Yang Guihua and Xiang Moyan along as they headed to Sui Town.
That is the Renhe Pharmacy. Right there.
Su Wanshu and the other two stepped into the pharmacy.
Hey, Big Sis. Here to pick up some medicine.
Not at all.
Young fella, is the shopkeeper around?
He is right here. Miss just give me a sec to fetch him.
Shopkeeper Liu, I've got a century-old ginseng root here. Wonder if that piques your interest, Shopkeeper Liu.
With that, Su Wanshu pulled the ginseng from her basket and set it on the counter, carefully peeling back the moss covering it.
Century-old roots like this don't come around often these days.
Shopkeeper Liu approached the counter, his eyes falling on the ginseng, which suddenly lit up with excitement. He gingerly lifted the root from the table. The lateral roots were perfectly intact, clearly harvested by someone who knew their stuff.
My grandpa dug this one up himself, just for this root. He ended up breaking his leg. Shopkeeper Liu, don't try lowballing me on the price now. I'm counting on getting a fair sum, so I can afford a proper doctor.
Miss Cecil, this root of yours is solid enough, maybe 30 or 40 years old, but nothing close to a century. I'll offer you 100 taels of silver. How is that sound?
Su Wanshu had no idea what ginseng was truly worth these days. Yet here was Shopkeeper Liu, offering 100 taels right off the bat. That was double her wildest hopes of 50 taels. He has got a generous heart. He wasn't aiming to sell the ginseng for a king's ransom, so he agreed without a second thought. Coming out of the herbal shop, after walking quite a ways, Yang Guihua finally snaps out of her daze.
Little uncle, did you really just sell that ginseng?
Mom, this is our family's little secret. You can't breathe a word to anyone, not even to Grandma. Not a single syllable.
Yang Guihua nods vigorously. That is 100 taels of silver after all. How could she possibly spill it?
Is that silver safe in Fang Xiaoyan's basket? The town's crawling with pickpockets.
No worries. I'll tuck it away, nice and safe.
Little uncle, steamed buns with white flour.
Xiao Muyan couldn't care less about how much that white radish might fetch. He is just fixated on what Su Banshu promised him. Meat buns for dinner tonight. A proper feast.
Xiaoyan can have as many as she wants today.
Little uncle, I'm not hungry. You and Xiaoyan go ahead.
Ah, Mom, you forgot. We've got coppers in our pockets now.
But...
Before Yang Guihua can even finish her butt, Su Wanshu's already back with 6 big meat buns. Su Wanshu bites into one stuffed with green onion and pork. The filling's downright delicious. But Yang Guihua still can't bring herself to take a bite, when suddenly, Su Wanshu shoves one right into her mouth.
What a lucky girl you are. With a daughter this thoughtful.
It is daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law.
The bun seller auntie bursts out laughing at Xiao Muyan's deadpan seriousness and says he'll sure dote on his wife someday. Guihua, what have you been out shopping for with the kids? Those 2 back baskets look packed full. Now that Su Wanshu's got some silver, she is gone on a full-on shopping spree. You just came empty-handed for rice and flour, then turned right around for noodles. No oil, no meat, no clothes, no shoes. Buy it all up.
Mom, any ox cart heading back to the village around noon?
Yang Guihua glanced at the sun's position.
Uncle Quan's ox cart should still be waiting. If we ride with him, it is 2 coppers ahead. Little uncle, maybe we ought to just walk back instead. 6 coppers get us 6 steamed buns, after all.
Mom, I feel so weak. I can hardly move. And with all these things to carry, what if we run into bandits on the way?
Yang Guihua nodded. Then LED Su Wanshu and Xiao Muyan to the ox cart. Uncle Quan's ox cart already had 3 village women on board. The moment they spotted Yang Guihua with Su Wanshu and Xiao Muyan, they all went dead silent.
Wasn't Su Wanshu supposed to be at death's door? But she sure doesn't look the part. She even made it to town on foot by herself.
And that face veil she has got on must mean the sickness hasn't quite cleared up yet. Su Wanshu handed over the 6 coppers, and they climbed aboard. They'd barely settled in when Aunt Fang scooted over all chatty and asked, Guihua, what have you been out shopping for with the kids? Those back baskets look mighty heavy.
We're flat out of grain back home, so I grabbed a little something. Uncle Wan's on the mend, doing much better now.
Auntie, I'm feeling a lot better.
That is a relief. That is a relief. But those rashes on your face, they might leave scars down the line. Poor girl. From now on, you and Xiaoyan can settle into a steady life. Even if your face ends up scarred, it won't hold you back.
We've all scraped by through tough times in this village. Seeing Su Wanshu pull through after brushing the gates of hell, they're thrilled for her, deep down, and she has got at least half a day more to live. Word spread through the whole southern village. Yang Guihua took Su Wanshu and Xiang Muyan to town and loaded up on all sorts of things. Some are even jealous of Yang Guihua. If they'd known Su Wanshu could pull through, they'd have piped up sooner to bring her into the family as a bride. Old Lady Wu, catching the villagers' gossip, her face darkened like the bottom of a soot-black pot.
Xiaosha, you need to come up with a plan. Quick! To get that 5 taels of silver back. I overheard today. That Su Wanshu's fit enough to head into town. Looks like she ain't dying anytime soon. Half the village saw it with their own eyes today. Her folks hauled back 2 full baskets of goods. That must have set him back a pretty penny.
Mom, I'll swing by the Shell place tonight.
Yeah. The whole Shell household. We'll just snatch the silver right out from under 'em. Once that silver's in our pockets, we'll see how they scrape by without it.
Over at Xiao Guanli's, they're eyeing Su Wanshu's 5 taels too.
Our Sulan's no spring chicken anymore. If town scholar Lin took her as his wife, the whole family'd hit the jackpot. With those 5 taels as dowry, head to the Ling family and pop the question. They might even deign to give us a glance, and this match could actually work out. You'd be the scholar's father-in-law from then on.
Little uncle, I know just the spot for shepherd's purse.
Xiao Guanyi was really taken with what Wang Fang had to say. Her eldest daughter Xiao Sulan, being a natural beauty from the day she was born, sharp as ice and snow.
I can't just storm into Yanggua's place and snatch her away, right?
What is the big deal about grabbing her? That's Yang Guihua with her clumsy mouth. You give her a good scare, and she won't dare raise a stink.
Then it is settled. For tonight, I'll go scout things out first.
Su Wanshu, fresh through the door as the new bride, had no idea that her family was now being eyed by 2 separate crews.
Mom, you grab the wooden bucket and go milk the buffalo. I'll handle the fire.
How do we get so much?
Yang Guihua stared at the nearly full bucket of buffalo milk, totally frozen in shock. Yesterday, that big buffalo only gave us 1 bowl. How is it pumping out almost a whole bucket after just 1 night?
Mom, this afternoon, I'll head out with Xiaoyan to cut some extra green grass. Feed that big buffalo plenty of fresh grass. And it'll naturally give us way more milk.
Little uncle, you still haven't shaken off that illness completely. I'll hurry back soon, so Mom can stew up some meat for you and Xiaoyan.
Got it, Mom. We'll grab just 1 bundle and head straight home.
Su Wanshu rushed out the door, not really just for a bit of grass, but to hunt down some shepherd's purse.
Little uncle, I know right where to find the shepherd's purse.
Really? Xiaoyan's foraged for it before.
One time, a bunch of rowdy kids took me up the hill to play, and on my way back alone, I came across a whole bunch of shepherd's purse in this valley, but Mom and Dad said it didn't taste good, so I left it alone.
Mom must have gotten it wrong. This shepherd's purse is so tasty. Let's dig up plenty more shepherd's purse today. Tomorrow, we'll wrap some shepherd's purse dumplings at home.
What is up with the kids?
Su Wanshu, basket on his back, walked side by side with Xiao Muyan along the winding mountain path, chatting as they went about how to make dumplings and all the different fillings you can use. Xiao Muyan hung on every word, drooling the whole way, nearly forgetting the route to that little hidden valley.
Xiaoyan, you sure this is the way?
Xiaoyan never gets it wrong. I know every trail up here, like the back of my hand.
Seeing Xiao Muyan's full-on confidence, Su Wanshu couldn't help but chuckle. Sometimes it is nice when folks keep things simple.
Little uncle, see, told you I had it right. Just head this way. Squeeze through that cave, and we're in the little valley.
So how do we get back out?
Just climb up these vines. Easy peasy.
Sure enough, they reached the valley, but getting down meant jumping off the cliff.
Why not just drop straight down from here?
Nah, can't go that way. This side.
With that, Xiao Muyan grabbed Su Wanshu's hand and led him down the narrow goat path. Her hand was big and warm, and Su Wanshu felt a bit awkward inside, but he didn't pull away. He had a touch of fear of heights.
Little uncle, don't look down, and you won't feel scared.
I'm not scared. You just keep moving.
This place is seriously tucked away. Plump wild greens everywhere you look. Bet There is some small game around here. Might as well set a few rabbit snares. Su Wanshu was a man of his word. In no time at all, he'd woven 10 snares from tough vines.
Xiaoyan, how'd you dig up so much shepherd's purse?
Shepherd's purse dumplings are the best.
Xiaoyan, you didn't just dig those up by hand, did you?
Digging with that plank's way too slow. I'd dig it up quicker with my hands anyway. Xiaoshuo, are you staring at that bush for something?
Su Wanshu figured the trap he'd set had snagged some prey, and he bounded over, all excited to grab the rabbit. But as they got closer, they realized it wasn't a rabbit at all. It was just a little beehive that had tumbled down from the tree.
Uncle Blackhead Bee. Run for it. Those blackhead bees pack a nasty sting.
Xiaoyan, don't worry. These blackhead bees aren't that scary.
Su Wanshu stepped forward, nice and easy. He started humming softly under his breath, like a little folk tune, or maybe a gentle murmur. This was the tune Su Wanshu picked up in his past life, after patching up some big shot who slipped him the secret. Once he mastered it, no swarm of bees was too wild for him to tame.
Xiaoyan, grab me a big leaf, will you? Now we'll have honey to sweeten things up.
Zhao Muyan perked up at the mention of honey and lost all her fear, even with the bees going nuts. She scrambled quick as a flash and fetched 2 big leaves, then wrapped up the hive snug inside them. Su Wanshu and Xiao Muyan's outing this time turned out to be a real haul. Not just the wild greens they foraged, but a whole beehive and 4 wild rabbits to boot.
Mom, what'd you whip up? Smells amazing. So good.
Stewed up some pork belly, just for you. Now wash up and dig in. Today, Yang Guihua whipped up a real feast for dinner, with braised pork belly, steamed rice, and a big bowl of veggie soup. The 3 of them dug in, laughing and chatting all the way. Yang Guihua then poured some warm milk for Su Wanshu and Xiao Muyan.
Mom, you have some too. We didn't gather much grass today. We dug up loads of shepherd's purse. We'll toss a couple handfuls to the big water buffalo come morning. That oughta get the buffalo producing even more milk. Mom, I left that basket right on the east room windowsill. Whatever you do, don't touch it. There is a whole hive of black-headed bees in there. Give it a few months, and we'll be feasting on honey.
All right, Mom.
Got it. Su Wanshu and Xiao Muyan had been out running around all day, so they hit the hay early. Yang Guihua burned the midnight oil, stitching away at her embroidery. Past midnight, Yang Guihua zao si lamp. Xiao Guanli vaulted over the low courtyard wall. He could barely contain his glee. Those 5 taels of silver were as good as his tonight. Xiao Guanli slunk up to the door and gave it a shove, but it held fast. Knife in hand, set to jimmy the wooden latch inside. When suddenly, Wu Shan's footsteps crunched up behind him from the shadows. Guilty as charged and scared half to death, Xiao Guanli let out a piercing triplia. That shadowy figure jumped at Xiao Guanli's collar, stumbling over something in the dark, and then came the angry buzz of wings. Before they could even make out what hit them, the black-headed bees swarmed them, sending the pair into wailing hysterics.
Mom, let's hold off on heading out for a bit.
Xiao Guanli and Wu Shan howled in agony from the black-headed bees' stings. Nanfeng village lay hushed in the dead of night, until the 2 men's slaughterhouse squeals ripped through the silence. That drew half the village in an instant. The black-headed bees got spooked by the firelight and buzzed back to their hive.
Uncle, foster dad, how come it is you 2? I thought it was some ghost stirring up trouble.
Big brother, what brings you to my place so late at night?
I had too much to drink. That is how I stumbled in here by accident, folks. Sorry to bother you all. Woke everyone up from their sleep.
Zhao Guanli, hold it! Right there! You think I'm some kind of fool? Li Zhao, what is your game? Sneaking into Guan Cheng's house like this? Don't think for a second. I don't know what is going on. I'm laying it out plain and simple right here today. If anyone dares to creep around Guan Cheng's place again, don't come crying to me about village ties. I'll haul them straight off to the county jail.
Village head, we messed up big time today. You won't see anything like this from us again. That is for sure.
Normally, Wu Shan struts around the village like he owns the place, thanks to his family's bit of money, thinks no one matters. But tonight, getting caught red-handed by the whole crowd, he has lost every shred of face he had.
You 2 better watch yourselves. Now get out of here, both of you. Who knows when Wan Cheng will get back? Hey, you all, Ought to barricade the door at night when you sleep. Keep the bad guys from breaking in.
Thanks, village head. We'd have been lost without you showing up tonight.
With something like this happening at home, Yang Guihua was scared out of her wits. She bolted the door shut, dragged the cloth chest over from inside the room, jammed it up against the door, and only then could she finally sleep.
Yeah. When's Dad coming home?
Your dad's been out hunting for 7 or 8 days now, Xiaoyan. He should be back any day.
Once Dad gets back, let's rebuild the house. Make it proper.
It is high time we built you and Xiaoyan your own rooms.
Su Wanshu and Yang Guihua chatted now and then, dreaming of the good days ahead. Early yesterday morning, Uncle went down to the river last night to wash clothes.
Little uncle, you missed it today. Jiao Guanli and Wu Shan's families both called in doctors. Word is, both their faces are swollen up like pig heads.
Serves them right. If you ask me, that kid of yours almost didn't make it. How could they have the nerve to break in and steal silver like that? Su Wanshi soaked up all the juicy gossip, then headed home after just washing a couple pieces of laundry.
We've got rabbit meat for lunch today. How about we make shepherd's purse dumplings in a couple days? Little uncle, you're still not feeling well. Why are you washing your own clothes? Just to leave the clothes on the bed. Mom will get to them once she is done with her chores.
Mom, I've been drinking milk every day, and I'm pretty much over the illness now. It is just these red rashes on my skin. I don't know when they'll fade.
Mom, I want some water and milk.
Zhang Muyan's built like a sturdy little calf, and she chopped all this firewood in just one morning.
Xiaoyan, you're amazing. Drink plenty of water and milk later. But this is our little secret about your super strength. You can't tell anyone outside the family. It is our little secret.
Yeah, our little secret, me and little uncle. Mom, I want to eat shepherd's purse dumplings. Little uncle says they're super tasty.
We've got rabbit meat for lunch today. How about we make shepherd's purse dumplings in a couple days?
Yeah, we caught a bunch of wild rabbits yesterday, little uncle says. When stewing wild rabbit, toss in a few red chilies. Makes it even tastier. Mom, you know how to stew it.
I'll stew up some wild rabbits for lunch. But you gotta help me out by turning over the veggie patch in the yard.
We don't have any veggies at home, so he is planning to use the spiritual spring water to grow some.
Sure thing. I'll go flip that veggie patch right now.
Su Wanshu's got the rabbit all cut up, blanch it in water, and it is ready to go in the pot to stew.
Little uncle, you're so awesome. Could you teach me how to cut a rabbit into all these pieces?
Yeah, delicious, delicious.
All these years I've grown up, and I've never tasted such sweet steamed buns before.
After just finishing planting the vegetables, Yang Guihua prepared the dough and started steaming the buns. The aroma of steaming buns wafted from the pot, filling the air with its lingering scent. Linger, the little daughter at home, started bawling from the greedy temptation of that drifting fragrance, so she had no choice but to come over all thick-skinned and ask Yang Guihua for a bun.
Guihua, what do you put in these buns of yours? They smell amazing.
Oh, nothing special. Just that we had extra buffalo milk from this morning's milking. So I mixed it into the dough and steamed up these buns. Didn't expect them to turn out this tasty.
Yang Guihua said as she picked up a bun, broke it in half, and stuffed it into Liu Xiang's hand, telling him to try it while it is hot.
Yeah, delicious, delicious.
All these years I've grown up, and I've never tasted such sweet steamed buns before.
Liu Xiang walked off with 2 buns from Yang Guihua, and the kids driven to tears by the craving were beyond count, with Wu Tianyu being one of them. Wu Tianyu bolted straight for home.
I want those Xiaomian-style white flour buns we have at home.
Grandma Wu, who just been feeling sorry for her grandson, went stone-faced in an instant.
Tianyu, get up off the ground right now. You're practically a grown man about to get married. And here you are throwing a fit with your grandma over a single bun, not even caring if word gets out and folks laugh at you.
Tough. If you won't give me those white flour buns I asked for today, then I won't bother going to school anymore. Won't even sit for the Tongsheng exam, and I'll just go home to mind the shop for Dad.
Oh, my little ancestor.
You're twisting the knife right in Grandma's heart.
No other choice. He had no choice but to shamelessly drop by Yang Guihua's place.
Next time you start spouting all that nonsense, you'd better check whose house you're in. And who exactly you're messing with?
I've eaten all my family's steamed buns, so everyone, let's head on back.
桂花, those steamed buns of yours were really just mixed with buffalo milk and flour. And they smelled that amazing.
Yeah. It was really just a bit of buffalo milk added. Nothing else in there.
桂花, I remember that buffalo of yours was just rented from the village, right?
That is right. I rented it for a whole year.
Old Lady Wu overheard the women in the yard chattering and realized the buns were all gone.
桂花啊, you've taken so much silver from our family. You can't be this stingy about it. Your buns turned out so perfectly. Why not just steam another batch? It is not like you're short on cash anyway.
Su Wanshu, resting with his eyes closed in the house, caught Old Lady Wu's words from the yard, and he was completely floored, thinking what on earth a pot of plain white flour buns could be worth.
Fifth Grandma, next time you start spouting all that nonsense, you'd better check whose house you're in. And who exactly you're messing with.
You little wretch. Don't think just 'cause you're married now that I can't put you in your place. I'll beat the life out of you today. Just watch.
You try laying a hand on me. See what happens. Yesterday wasn't enough for Wushan with that blackhead swarm. You want a taste of it too.
Uncle Suwan, you ungrateful wolf! The Wu family fed you for nothing. All those 14 years. And now that you're out, you won't even call me grandma anymore. Just you wait. This is how unfilial you are. You'll get yours one day. Mark my words.
Su Wanshu wasn't about to listen to Old Lady Wu spewing her venom, so he moved to grab the basket full of those blackhead stingers. Old Lady Wu panicked at the thought of getting stung by the blackheads, takes off, running.
Xiaomiya, you're the big brother, so you ought to give way to your little brother.
Su Wanshu saw Yang Guihua standing there dazed in the courtyard, and hurried over to comfort her.
Mom, don't worry. If that old hag's a bad person, then we ought to kick her out.
Little uncle, it is all 'cause Mom's too soft-hearted. If Mom had even half your guts, she wouldn't let folks bully us all the time.
Mom, from now on, I'll look out for you and little Yan.
It was only then that the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law remembered that Xiao Muyan had been out playing for ages and still wasn't back.
Xiaomiya, you're the big brother, so you ought to give way to your little brother. A huge white flour bun like that. How could you have the nerve to eat it all yourself without saving any for him?
Last time Jinbao grabbed the bun and didn't share with me either.
Su Wan said, what is so funny?
Su Wanshu had already recognized the two young kids standing there. They were Xiao Guan's son and daughter. They had an older sister about Xiao Muyan's age, who seemed to work in town.
Nothing. I came to bring little Yan home. Little Yan can't go. He bullied my little brother, so he needs to apologize properly and make it up with a sorry gift. Little Yan, did you bully Xiao Jinbao?
No way. I just ate a white flour bun right in front of him, and he got so worked up, he threw himself down and started bawling.
Xiaoyue, you've heard what little Yan said. He didn't bully anybody. Just holding a bun made your brother cry from wanting it so bad. And that is supposed to be bullying. Well, then there is nothing I can do. Su Wanshu, who would have thought? After you got married, you've sure got a sharper tongue these days. So everything you pulled in the Wu family was just fake. Listen up, Su Wanshu. You can only fool the rest of them. But in front of my Xiang Yin, you're still that unwanted bastard with no folks to claim you. If you bully my dad again, once Big Sis rolls back in a couple days, she'll make you regret it.
Xiaomiya, you dare hit me!
I've just been threatened by some little girl.
Yeah. Xiaomiyan, you better make it up to me with a steamed bun right now, or I'll get my big sis to beat you till you're picking your teeth off the ground.
Your big sis is a bully.
I'm not scared.
My sister's no bully. Your whole family's rotten. Your dad's heart's rotten to the core. He heads up the mountain to hunt and never comes back. Doomed to die out there one day.
Xiao Muyan's face flushed beet red. Her hands clenched into tight fists, itching to lay into Xiao Jinbao.
May the cripple die on the mountain. The idiot starved to death at home. Scraps left to eat. Your mom lives worse than a dog. You live worse than a mangy pup. You idiot! You dare hit me!
Suddenly, Xiao Muyan charged at Xiao Jinbao like a little whirlwind.
Liu Yan, go easy on him. Don't beat him to death.
Your dad's the one dying up there. Your mom's the one scraping by on scraps.
Xiaomiya, hit me!
Xiao Yun saw Jinbao getting thrashed, froze in shock, right there on the spot. Snapping out of it, terrified, he'd get beaten too. He turned tail and bolted home to fetch his mom.
小妍, run!
Seeing Xiao Yun sprint home for backup, Su Wanshu grabbed Xiao Muyan and bolted.
Little Mo Yan, your dad's back! Your dad's back!
桂花, Guan Cheng's been up in the mountains for quite a spell now. If he doesn't come back soon, I'll head to Old Zhang the hunter's place in the next village and ask around for you. See if he's run into brother Guanqing up there.
It wouldn't hurt to check. I've heard the gossip floating around the village too.
Guihua, don't pay those village busybodies any mind, stirring up trouble with their wagging tongues. Brother Guancheng's bound to come home safe and sound.
Yeah, I know Guancheng would never abandon us. Me and the little one.
Guihua, look. Those veggie seedlings you planted this morning, they've all taken root already. Something like this. Never happened before. Guihua, this is a good omen. So just relax. Brother Guancheng will be back before you know it. Just a few more days.
After being away for nearly half a month, Xiao Guancheng finally staggered back into the village, all tattered and torn, with a little wild boar slung over his shoulder. Who knows how Yang Guihua and little Xiao Muyan managed to get through these past 2 weeks.
Guancheng, you're back.
Third, Grandpa. Must have just come in from the fields.
Seeing how the villagers are treating her like this, it just goes to show his family's doing. Alright, wife and kid are safe and sound. Xiao Guancheng couldn't be happier. Kids have quick feet, and one dashed off to Xiao Muyan's place with the good news. Su Wanshu and Yang Guihua were at home, picking wild greens.
Little lamb, your dad's back! Your dad's back!
The kids' shout made all the greens tumble from Yang Guihua's hands to the floor.
Little uncle, what was that kid yelling about just now?
Guancheng, you're finally back! You're finally home!
Mom, just now they said Xiao Yan's dad is back.
The little flame emperor's back!
He brushed the dust off his clothes, then hurried off toward the village entrance. From afar, she spotted Guancheng, all ragged and worn, and Yang Guihua couldn't hold back her tears any longer.
Guancheng, you're finally back! You're finally home!
I'm back. Guihua, I bagged a wild boar. Guihua, don't cry.
Let's head home. I'll whip up some braised pork for you.
All right, Guancheng. This is Shu, the wife I found for Xiao Yan.
Guancheng froze for a second, then stared at Su Wanshu in utter disbelief. He'd only been gone half a month. How'd his boy go and get married? Guancheng nodded to Sheng, then led them both back home.
Sis, you're back.
Grandma Xiao, fresh from fetching water with 2 buckets in hand, dropped them right there and came charging straight at Guancheng.
You rascal. All grown up and still charging in like that. With Dad gone just half a month, you look even sturdier than before. Let me check if you've shot up even taller.
Yeah, this is my wife, Shu.
Xiaoyan, you've gone and gotten yourself a wife. From here on out, you're the man of the house, so treat her right, you hear? If I catch you picking on Shu, I'll tan your hide with a stick.
Dad, I got it.
Shah, your mom and I were just talking it over. Once I sell off that wild boar meat, we'll build a proper new courtyard and throw you two a little feast with a couple tables. Shah, don't you worry. Girls from other families, their dads would just hand them over to you.
21 for prime cuts. First come, first served.
Guihua, our tough days are finally behind us. With little uncle around now, you'll have it a bit easier too.
Little uncle's a good kid, better than me by a mile.
Su Wanshu's got a sharp tongue and a quick mind to match. Yang Guihua couldn't be happier with her. Xiao Guancheng sets up a big iron pot in the courtyard. He is about to butcher the wild boar he snagged from the hills.
Dad, how'd you get this boar so calm and still?
I slipped it some paralyzing grass, just one little sprig, and it'll keep the thing pinned down for hours. Little Yan, why don't you take little uncle out for a stroll? Butchering it'll spray blood everywhere. And he might just freak out.
Dad, I'm not scared. I'll grab the wooden basin to catch the blood for you.
Pig's blood is a real gem though. We can turn it into blood tofu. And rice, sausages, all the stuff Su Wan raves about.
Dad, cut right here. That way the blood drains nice and clean.
Thick streams of fresh blood pour into the basin.
Dad, don't toss the pig intestines.
Little uncle, what do you want with those stinky pig guts?
I'll brace them up later. You better not. Drool over it.
萧关成 sends Xiao Miuyan off to holler through the village. Any family craving some pork, come grab it from us. Our wild boar meat, as only 20 wen a jin. Get here early for the best picks.
20 wen for prime cuts. First come, first served.
Dad, let's pull out the offal. It won't fetch much anyway. Better to save these bones for hearty broth to nourish the whole family.
Little uncle, I heard from your mom that you got 100 taels of silver from selling that ginseng.
Yes, Xiao Yan and I stumbled upon a wild ginseng, root up in the mountains, and sold it for 100 taels.
Now, you'll keep this silver safe. Save it for you and little Yang to build your life together. As long as Dad's here at home, I won't let either of you suffer any hardship. If you're gonna be so bullheaded, then sorry, but that is where I draw the line.
Hao Wangchang, you're finally back. If you didn't show up soon, the whole place would have gone to hell.
Old council, what is the deal?
Just dropping by to see what is up. Heard you took down a wild boar. But I showed up a step too late. Should have hustled over quicker. Might have even scored a chunk of that prime fat.
This is wild boar meat, 200 grand a jin, if you want a pig ear tossed in on top.
If I were in your shoes as big sis, we're family, after all. How could you even charge me for it? Besides, your big bro and nephew are still laid up hurting at home. All cause of that jinx you brought into the family. They wouldn't be in this mess otherwise. Wancheng, you better get this straight. The ones flat on their backs at home, your own big bro and nephew, bound by blood to you, close kin or far-flung. You know the difference. You gotta draw that line clear.
Sias, Wei Hua already clued me in on what went down at home while I was gone. The whole story. You buy the meat, I'll throw in a pig ear extra. That is going above and beyond for my big bro already. If you're still gonna push like this, then I'm done playing nice.
Shao Guancheng suddenly flings his arm, slamming the sharp boning knife into the cutting board, scaring Wang Fang flat on her ass.
Xiao, Guancheng, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Auntie, Dad spelled it out plain as day. Either cough up the cash for the meat yourself, or hit the road right now. If you ever dream of mooching off us again, you better weigh that real careful in your head. He ain't that easy to push around.
Su Wanshu, don't get too cocky. Back when your mom wasn't around to keep you in check, you'd boss everyone around this house with zero respect for your elders. Now that your dad's home, you'd better tone it down.
My dad despises you too.
Watching Wang Fang slink off in disgrace, Su Wanshu burst into giggles.
If you don't hurry back, that broomstar Su Wanshu will tear the whole family apart.
You mean it is Su Wanshu from the Wu family?
That is right, Mom. You have no idea. A while back, Su Wangshu's sheep got mauled to death by a tiger. So old Lady Wu figured she'd find Wu Shan a new wife. And she had her eye on that fresh young girl from the next village over.
I remember that Wu girl was always so quiet and meek. Not half as fierce as you're saying.
Mom, you don't know the half of it. That day, old Lady Wu was all set to kick Su Wangshu to the back hills. Then, who knows what got into her? She just snapped to life, like she was a whole different person. Sharp-tongued and tough as nails. Mom, you better get back there quick. If you don't hurry back, that broomstar Su Wanshu will tear the whole family apart.
What kind of nonsense is coming out of your mouth? The Xiao family's doing just fine. How is one granddaughter-in-law gonna wreck the whole place? You head on back first. I'll chew it over with your dad later.
Mom.
Wang Fang wanted to try persuading her some more, but that pork hindquarter from the Guanchengs won't keep forever.
All right. It is no small trip coming into town like this. Let's go see Sulan first.
The corn and wheat seeds she casually scattered had matured overnight. Su Wanshu Fenzo do with nothing much to do, quietly split off a thread of her consciousness to check on things inside her spiritual spring space. In just a day and a night, the once empty spiritual spring space was now a golden field. The corn and the wheat seeds she casually scattered had matured overnight. At the very edge of the field, there was a row of lush green sprouts. No need to guess, Su Wangshu knew. These must be the baby ginsengs sprouted from that handful of ginseng seeds he planted. Dusk was gradually falling. Yang Guihua lit an oil lamp in the room, pulling out the cloth she'd bought a few days earlier to cut and sew clothes for the whole family. Su Wangshu and Xiao Mingyan each watched over their own little earthen jar. Su Wanshu had raised 10 scorpions of various sizes in his jar, watching them with great interest. While Xiao Mingyan's jar held 2 crickets. He picked up a foxtail grass, poking at the crickets now and then, hoping to make them fight. Xiao Guanlong stepped into the room, under the warm yellow glow, as the family settled in peacefully. Seeing this heartwarming sight, even though they were still poor, it was still a happy life.
Guihua, save the sewing for tomorrow. It is getting late. Don't burn the midnight oil. It is bad for your eyes.
The clothes you're wearing are all faded from washing. Things are so much better these days. So tomorrow, I'll whip up a few new outfits for everyone.
Mom, tomorrow, let's head to town and pick up a couple of ready-made outfits to tide us over. And replace the bedding at home, too.
Little uncle's right. Tomorrow, I'll rent an ox cart, and we'll all go to town to get some things. I'll ask around in town about the going rate for masons these days, and see how much silver it'll take to build us 4 new rooms.
The next day, the family of 4 had finished their early breakfast, getting ready to rent an ox cart to head into town.
Meanwhile,
Grandma Xiao and her husband had returned to Nanfeng village with the 3rd son's family, heading straight for Xiao Guancheng's place.
Guancheng, I heard Xiao Yan got married. This must be the little uncle, right? I heard from your auntie that a while back, the rash on your face hasn't cleared up. Have you seen a doctor lately?
Su Wanshu blinked, a bit puzzled by the whole situation. Wasn't the Grandma Xiao from all the rumors the one who couldn't stand Xiao Guancheng's family?
Grandma, I've already seen the doctor. The doc couldn't figure out what was wrong. No more fever either. And most of the redness has faded. But for some reason, there is still some rash on my face. That just won't go away.
You're still young. Your body should heal quick. You might just shake it off on your own. Guancheng, with an extra mouth to feed at home now, things must be tight for you folks, right? So just have Xiao Yan and the little uncle go eat over at your 3rd brother's.
Mom, isn't the 3rd brother still in town?
After the 3rd brother's wife had those twins, she really hurt her health, so she can't run the wonton stall for a good while. And Guanji can't even mix the filling right. I wouldn't touch the wontons she wraps, let alone sell 'em. Better to just head home and farm. At least that way they can fill their bellies.
Logically speaking, with Xiao Guanzhe's family in such a fix, his mom ought to be clutching her grain even tighter. So why's she sending Xiao Yan and the little uncle over to the 3rds for meals? This is so not like her usual self.
Guancheng, what are you spacing out for?
Mom, why are you suddenly being so nice to us? Back when Xiao Yang was starving and crying her lungs out, you wouldn't even spare a single coarse grain bun for us.
You unfilial wretch. If it weren't for you insisting on joining the army, would Mom have to endure all this hardship? Oh, for your mom. These days have been so tough. Do you even know? You boy, you're so busy serving the country. But do you even remember you have an old mother?
Guancheng, what are you doing? How can you be so disrespectful to Mom? Mom just got back from town, so why don't you hurry up and bring some good meat and veggies to honor her? And you went and made Mom cry. That is just unfilial. Yang Guihua, you fool. What are you standing there for? Aren't you going to get the meat? Yesterday, I saw you had a big hunk of wild boar meat stashed at home.
Shut your mouth. If it weren't for you stirring up trouble at home, the family wouldn't be in such an uproar right now. Why haven't you left yet? What are you loitering around here for? Guancheng, I just got back today, and I need to tidy up the house. Come by the house later. I need to talk to you about something.
All right. Guanji's room hasn't had anyone in it for ages. We'll have Guihua come over to lend a hand soon.
Grandma Xiao waved her hand, refusing 2nd brother Xiao Guancheng's kind offer, and turned to leave first.
2nd brother, come over to the house later. Those 2 little tots of mine are such a handful of fun. You haven't met them yet.
Sure.
The only warmth she feels at home comes from the youngest brother, Xiao Guanzhe. Every time he heads into the mountains to hunt, Yang Guihua is left alone at home with nothing to eat. It is Xiao Guanzhe who arranges for the Zhao family to bring over some food. Yang Guihua endures those hardest days.
Looks like those rumors aren't true after all. I'd better meet the Xiao family folks myself.
Jin Baonyang's got a point there. I lost all my dignity right in the 2nd brother's house.
Guancheng, What about those 2 little kids from Guanjie's family? Can they handle our water buffalo milk?
No hurry. We'll swing by Guanjie's place this afternoon and see for ourselves.
You old hag. Soon as she got back, she had me fuming.
Just you wait.
When you're stuck flat in bed, too feeble to budge, I'll make you rue the day.
Mom, I told you not to bother going, but you just wouldn't listen. You only remember how Grandma could never stand second uncle. But when's the last time you saw her accept so much as a morsel from his place?
I just can't stomach it. Xiao Guanchong holding that massive wild boar. So why the hell won't? He's spare a cut for our family, no matter how you look at it. Your dad's the eldest brother. He ought to bring the prime cuts as a show of respect.
Jinbao Niang's got a point. I got this scar right in the second brother's house. And when he rolled back into town, he didn't even drop by to check on me. He just doesn't give 2 hoots about me as his big brother.
Xiao Sulan jolts awake at a deafening thunderclap. The sky outside hangs dark and heavy. Xiao Sulan rolls over, slides off the can, snatches an oil paper umbrella, and steps out into the storm. Xiao Sulan, umbrella in hand, approaches Xiao Guancheng's wooden shack, just as she'd dreamed it. Xiao Guancheng's place sits lowest in the village, and come rain, puddles always gather deep at his gate. But the waters have never quite breached Xiao Guancheng's threshold.
Sure enough, it is a proper treasure basin. Can't muscle in on Su Wanshu's turf just yet, but staking claim to this blessed spot for now ain't half bad.
Second brother and sister-in-law, you're here. Come on, inside.
The roof's leaking just as the rain pours all night. A light rain's falling outside, and inside. It is still dripping away, the leak going strong.
Third uncle, why don't you set up a couple of charcoal braziers in there to chase away the damp? Grown-ups can tough out this kind of mugginess, but those 2 little ones probably can't handle it.
Solan, you've got a letter. Later, I'll head to Lijiang to apply for a homestead plot for Jinbao.
Grandma Xiao and the Zhao family heard Xiao Guancheng had arrived, and came out from the side room, cradling the child. The room was full of folks, chatting away noisily. Yet these 2 little babies slept soundly through it all.
These 2 little ones are just so good.
Before anyone could say much, Xiao Sulan stepped into the room, holding an oil paper umbrella. Xiao Sulan greeted everyone in the hall with such polite grace, a warm, fitting smile lighting up her face, every move radiating gentle poise and virtue. So Wanshu quietly took in Xiao Sulan, without a word. Xiao Sulan checked in on Grandma Xiao's health for a bit, then scooped up the 2 Zhao kids, calling them just precious.
Grandpa, Jinbao's studies in town are wearing him out, so I figured we'd better get that house built for him soon, so he can settle in and focus on his lessons.
Solan, you've got a letter. Later, I'll head to Lijiang to apply for a homestead plot for Jinbao.
Xiao Jinbao is the apple row, Grandpa Xiao's eye. Hearing Xiao Sulan wanted to build a house for Jinbao, the wrinkles on his face bunched up in a joyful grin.
Grandpa, what do you think of this idea? Xiao Yan's gone and gotten married. Second uncle's place is bound to feel cramped now. So why not have them build a bigger new house too? To make living a bit easier all around. These past years, second uncle's family has scraped by. And me, as his niece, I've watched it all. And it aches deep inside. So here is what I propose. I'll put up the silver to buy second uncle's old house, and use the spot to build fresh for Jinbao. Second uncle can take my silver to Lijiang, apply for a new homestead, and put up a house there. That way, we keep second uncle's dignity intact, and I get to pitch in a little.
Sola, you're one of the young ones. How on earth would second uncle's family need looking after by you? You're no kid anymore. It is high time you started saving for a dowry and got married. By all accounts, your second uncle's family ought to be chipping in for your dowry.
Grandpa, this is just what I ought to do. We're all one big family. Any silver I manage to earn, of course, it is for taking care of our own. If you stay quiet, nobody's gonna take you for a mute.
Sola, second uncle appreciates your good intentions. This time I went up the mountain and bagged a wild boar, sold it for some cash, plus the copper coins I've scraped together before. That ought to be enough to build a house for Xiao Yan and little uncle.
Sister Sulan, came with my dowry, you know. My family's got the silver to build a house. Why not use it to honor Grandpa and Grandma? They're crammed in with third uncle, in a house that is way too small. If we could fix it up for them, that'd be the best thing ever. Speaking of which, third uncle's family's in the worst shape right now. Third aunt hurt herself bad giving birth to the little ones. She needs real proper care to recover. Now, It is just third uncle pulling in all the silver for the family. He must be worn out.
If you stay quiet, nobody's gonna take you for a mute.
Uncle Ben, I remember you used to be the quiet one. How'd you turn into such a chatterbox all of a sudden?
Get pushed around enough, and you get scared. Then you start pushing back. I've died once already. Opened my eyes to a whole lot. Anybody tries messing with me from here on out, I'll pay him back 1,000 times over.
Little uncle, I've said I'd protect you going forward. And I want to protect my wife. I know I can do it.
Little uncle, that is exactly how you should be.
Anybody dares to bully you,
you curse him right back. Fight him off. If you can't take him, just come find Grandma. Grandma's got your back.
Second uncle, no matter how broke us just get, you can't touch our daughter-in-law's dowry. Stick to what I proposed. I'll buy your old place, and you can start fresh with a new yard.
Sulan, we all know you're coming from a good place. You absolutely cannot buy your second uncle's old house. I'm still waiting for your second aunt to give me a grandson right there, in that old house. And until then, your second uncle can't leave it.
Mom, what is that supposed to mean? Seriously, why on earth can't I leave this old place?
Mom, I'm getting on in years here. How is anyone expecting kids at this stage? What if it never happens? Is Guancheng supposed to shack up in that wooden hut forever?
Don't look at me like that. This is all your second uncle's own doing. Guancheng, folks outside always say I've been hard on you. You three brothers all came from the same womb. How could a mother play favorites like that? There is a reason behind it all.
It all changed the day Xiao Guancheng insisted on enlisting. When Grandma Xiao heard Guancheng was set on joining up, she was terrified. He'd never make it back, so she tracked down a wandering Taoist priest and had him read Guancheng's fortune.
Your second son will make it home safe, hanging up his uniform for good. But he has racked up way too much bad karma from all the killing on the battlefield. He'll come back covered in wounds. And if you want him to pull through, he'll have to live in the Xiao family ancestral home. Whatever you do, don't renovate that old place. The more run down it is, the better.
On top of the rough living, the old priest told Grandma Xiao to give Guancheng a good scolding now and then, to help ease that heavy killing aura clinging to him.
Grandma, why make my dad stay in our old family house? Why not anywhere else?
The old priest said our ancestral home is a blessed sight, and if your dad can just tough it out, he'll rise to great heights. Young uncle, Grandma wants to thank you too. That old Taoist said, as long as a girl marries Xiao Yan will pull through just fine. Your mom could still give the Xiao family another son and daughter.
Mom, just because of what that old Taoist said, you've been treating your son so harshly for over a decade.
What else was I supposed to do? Don't you remember how rough and ragged you looked coming back from the battlefield, covered in wounds and that killer aura? Even the village dogs would spot you, and you'd have to take the long way around. Wasn't it me who chased you out to the old house back then? Or you wouldn't have made it this far.
Su Wanshu spat in disgust at Xiao Sulandeep in his heart. No wonder he suddenly wants the old house. Turns out that is where the issue lies. He must have heard from somewhere that the old house is a blessed land. That is why Zhang Xianshu is so eager and generous about buying our old place.
That old lady said it plain as day.
The old house is a blessed land. If I go buying the old house now, she'll think I've got ulterior motives.
Old lady. How come I never heard you mention this before?
The old Taoist forbade me from saying a word. I can only spill it after Xiao Yan gets married. You have no idea. These past few years, I've been praying every day for Xiao Yan to find a wife quick. I even had it all planned out. Xiao Yan, if you still can't snag a wife, I'll just buy him one and bring her back to settle down here. You really want to renovate the old house?
I've got a bit of cash on hand. Wanna build a proper courtyard for Xiao Yang and his uncle.
All right then, go ahead and renovate. But let Guihua, Xiao Yan, and his uncle stay over on Guanzhi's side. You'll still need to put up a thatched shack in the old house and bunk there at night for now.
Mom, it won't come to that, will it?
You little rascal. You've toughed it out this long. Don't throw it all away now. Listen up. Soon as you set foot in our village, you can only stay in the old house. The rules we've gotta follow, we still follow. When can I hold a grandson in my arms again? Then, everything will be just fine.
Day 2.
Dawn is just breaking.
Xiao Guanchen and Xiao Guanji rode the ox cart into town together. Today, they're off to buy bricks and tiles for the house. After Zhang Xin set things up with the town masons, work began on the house at Tianlai's place.
Xiaoyan, shall we head back to that valley today? We've still got some meat back home, so tonight we can keep wrapping those shepherd's purse dumplings. Young master, run! That scared the hell out of me.
Your little uncle's not scared. If that snake dares show up, I'll rip it to shreds.
In her past life or this one, she's never been this close to a man. Being coaxed like this, it feels kinda heartwarming.
What am I gonna do?
Little tree. Look, there's a wild rabbit over there.
You're shouting so loud. You've already scared it off long ago. Didn't you say you wanted shepherd's purse dumplings for dinner? Hurry up and go dig some. I'll scout around for any medicinal herbs, hoping these centipedes show some reaction after absorbing the ghost blood. Otherwise, it'll be tough to pinpoint what poison's in play. Xiaoyan, I just grabbed a few ears of young corn, so let's roast them and dig in.
The smoky, sweet scent of the roasted young corn drifted right under Xiao Muyan's and Su Wanshu's noses. The two couldn't even wait for it to finish roasting halfway before they started chowing down. That young corn was just too damn irresistible. They really couldn't hold out.
I don't wanna budge. It is still early in the day, so how about we catch a quick nap right here?
Sure. I'll wake you in a bit.
Su Wanshu leaned against Xiao Muyan's muscled shoulder, settling into a cozy position for herself, and gently closed her eyes.
Xiaoyan, wake up, something's wrong.
Huh? Little uncle, you called me.
Something's up.
At that sight, Su Wanshu leaped to Xiao Muyan's side in a panic.
Xiaoyan, fall back. I'll take out those snakes.
You called? I'm on it?
Xiao Muyan, who was still totally dazed just moments ago, now finally snapped out of it, realizing what was going down. She stomped down on the snake's head, her thumbs and index fingers pinning its vital spot, and with the grit of her teeth, her 4 fingers slicing like razor-sharp blades, she ripped the snake straight into. It all unfolded in the blink of an eye. By the time Su Wanshu shook off his shock, Xiao Muyan was already lunging at the second snake.
Xiaoyan, watch out!
Su Wanshu whipped out her dagger in a flash and dove into the snake-slaying frenzy. She steadied herself in an instant, her blade rising and falling in deadly precision, severing a snake's head with every strike. This was a total one-sided slaughter. The serpents that had seemed unstoppable just before, in no time at all, were torn apart by Su Wanshu and Xiao Muyan. Right now, along the valley's sheer cliff edge, it resembled a bloody inferno from hell. The ground was strewn with snake blood and lifeless serpents. A thick, metallic tang of blood hung heavy in the air throughout the valley.
Xiaoyan, you catch your breath here. I'll scout the area.
Okay, I'll go grab some water. I'm parched. I'm feeling so awful. So awful.
Su Wanshu snagged the treasure and headed off to the valley, totally pleased with himself, to find Xiao Muyan. The two of them were utterly wiped out today, not only soaked to the skin by that Shixia mess, but reeking of fish like nobody's business. Looking like this, better hightail it home ASAP.
Little Yan, what are you up to?
As Su Wanshu climbed down from the cliff, only to spot Xiao Muyan slurping snake blood right off the mechanism King Snake's body.
Little Shuo, we're out of water. I'm parched. I need a drink, and I'm burning up.
Su Wanshu couldn't help but wonder. They'd packed a full water skin today. How'd it run dry already? Su Wanshu stepped up to haul Xiao Muyan to her feet. He'd barely bent down when Xiao Muyan yanked him unexpectedly, sending him tumbling straight into her arms.
Little uncle, I'm feeling so awful. So awful.
With that, Zhang Muyan nuzzled against Su Wanshu like a big fluffy pup, rubbing up on him for all she was worth. Su Wanshu went rigid in Xiao Muyan's embrace, frozen solid, not daring to twitch. It was plain as day. Su Wanshu knew exactly why Xiao Muyan was whining about feeling so bad. Su Wanshu's face flushed hot in an instant. Right then, it finally clicked for him why Xiao Muyan had been going on about being thirsty earlier. She'd chugged too much of that coxcomb king snake blood.
Little uncle, my little wife, I'm feeling so bad. What do I do? I want to drink water.
Let go of me quick, and I'll grab some water for you.
No way.
Su Wanshu silently rolled his eyes, gave Xiao Muyan's hemp cloth a vicious pinch, and scrambled out of her arms like his life depended on it.
What if I just can't bear to let you go?
Su Wanshu had just filled half a water skin with fresh spring water when Xiao Muyan came stumbling over.
Drink up quick.
He gulped down every last drop in that half water skin.
Li Fanga, I still feel so awful. What about you, my wife? Am I dying here? I feel so terrible.
Xiao Muyan clung to Su Wanshu tightly, as if trying to pull her right into himself.
I don't know either. You're a guy. So how come you don't know how to fix this?
I'm definitely a goner. Wifey, what if I just can't bear to leave you?
In the end, Su Wanshu gritted her teeth silently, reminding herself that she was just treating a patient. In Su Wanshu's eyes, the world held only patience, no divide between man and woman. Late spring brings early dusk. Under the veil of night, Su Wanshu and the delirious Xiao Muyan dragged over a dozen dead snakes down the mountain. Down the mountain, they were still a ways from Nanfang village. Su Wanshu's keen eyes caught a lantern swaying in the breeze at the village gate. No need to wonder, Su Wanshu 有接着, it had to be Xiao Guancheng waiting for them. To keep those big snakes out of the villagers' sight, Su Wanshu told Xiao Muyan to stash the snakes in the roadside bushes for now, and they'd come back for them later.
Dad, we're back. Yeah.
If you want that snake stew, zip it. Otherwise, I'll hand out every last one of your snakes to the villagers, so you don't get a single bite.
Little Uncle Yan, what kept you out so late?
Dad, how many sacks do we have at home?
Why do you need sacks for?
They'll come in mighty handy.
Baffled as can be, Xiao Guancheng heads home and grabs 10 sacks. Su Wanshu says that is not nearly enough, so he borrows 5 more from Xiao Guanjie's place. Under the cover of nightfall, Su Wanshu led Xiao Guancheng, Xiao Guanjie, and Xiao Muyan as they quietly slip out of the village.
Little uncle, where do you even get all these snakes from?
We'll talk once we're home.
How were we supposed to haul all this?
Truth is, I could have dragged it home solo, but little uncle wouldn't hear of it without you all pitching in. He is just fretting the villagers might catch sight of us. If they spot us, so what? What is there to see anyway?
Fine, let's get home first then.
Come morning, as the sun climbs up, Xiao Guancheng's place is all serene. The whole family snoring away inside. Clean white slabs of snake meat, neatly stacked in bamboo baskets. Before long, Xiao Guancheng gears up to hit the town with Xiao Guanjie. This tasty snake, cut still a favorite for plenty of folks.
Little uncle, you're awake. I've simmered up some snake stew. Come grab a bowl with me.
Mom, there is snake stew right over there. I want some too.
Okay. You little scamp. Hop up and wash your face quick. I've got a whole pot bubbling. Today's the day you all eat till you're stuffed. I guarantee.
Snake meat carries that earthy tongue. As the stew simmers, Yang Guihua throws in heaps of ginger slices to tame the gaminess. Su Wanshu and Xiao Muyan each down just one bowl, and sweat starts beading on their foreheads.
Honey, feels like I'm a tad under the weather again. It is aching a bit down there.
Su Wanshu rolls her eyes to herself. It is chafed near to raw by now. How could it not smart?
Drink a bit less water today. It'll sort itself out in a couple of days.
Drink a bit less water. Drink more. And that soreness at the base of your tongue will ease up.
Crying all day! You're jinxing me to an early grave, aren't you?
What are you hollering about? Can't you see these 2 kids? They're starving.
You stubborn old coot. Hurry up and help me light the stove.
I'll whip up some rice soup for the little ones to have.
These 2 little jinxes are howling so loud it is splitting my head.
You just fend for yourself then.
You blind or what? Can't you see I'm holding our ball right now?
Grandma, little uncle's here to see you.
Little uncle, just in time. Quick, take your little brother for me, while I fix some rice soup for these two little rascals.
And in a bit, Grandma'll dish up big bowls for you, and Xiaoyan too, to tide you over that hunger. Grandma, look what my mom brought over for you.
What is that?
Mom, this is buffalo milk. A while back, I rented a water buffalo from the village, just figuring it'd plow the fields. But who knew the big guy's churning out loads of milk too?
Guihua, that is so thoughtful of you.
You head inside and keep your third sister-in-law company for a spell.
I'll get this buffalo milk boiling first.
Mom, take it slow. Don't go dropping little Erbao.
In the west room, Zhao Zhao cradled the starving, crying Dabao, softly soothing him. Her eyes were all red and swollen. Back when Grandma Xiao and Grandpa Xiao were bickering earlier, she must have had herself a real good cry.
Third aunt, Mom will keep bringing the buffalo milk. Tomorrow, from here on out, the little ones won't have to go hungry anymore.
Little uncle, second sister-in-law, Zhao Zhao will never forget the kindness you've shown us today.
Sister-in-law, our big water buffalo can give a whole bucket a day of milk. That is more than enough for the two kids. You need to get your strength back soon. The two kids are counting on you to look after them.
Second, sis-in-law spot on. Tough times always see a brighter day. Little uncle's handing. Am out. This is that malt candy from town. So darn tasty.
Thanks, third aunt. Little Yan, how are we gonna share this candy?
Of course, 1 piece each for everybody.
Second, sis-in-law, you haven't even let those two consummate yet.
Not rushing things right now. How could we not be in a hurry?
Those two aren't kids anymore. Time to carry on the Xiao family line.
Third aunt, that said, we'd wait till the new house is built. Then throw the proper wedding banquet. That is when little Yan and I will truly be married.
After Su Wanshu's little reminder, the Zhao family finally remembered Xiao Guancheng and his folks are still holed up in that little log cabin. Just two tiny shacks. Really no place for a young couple like that.
And look at third aunt. Clean forgot all about it.
Third aunt, you have a bowl of buffalo milk too. It is packed with good stuff.
Little uncle, you and little Yan, go ahead and drink. Third aunt can just sip some veggie soup later.
Third aunt, drink it while it is hot. That buffalo milk you were saving ended up going to the little ones anyway. Drink a bit more, so they can fill up too.
Ode third, daughter-in-law, just go on and have it. Look at you these days. Skin and bones, that is what.
The Zhao family, thinking of those two young ones, ended up thick-skinned enough to down the buffalo milk after all.
Oh, the lady. Got any more buffalo milk left? Scoop me another bowl.
You old coot. This milk's meant for the grandkids. How'd you go and drink it?
Grandma Zhang had stashed 2 bowls in the main room. She'd planned to save them for the kids, for when they wake up from their nap. Well, that is just great. Grandpa Xiao drank it all.
Shame on you, old man. Chugging your grandkids' baby milk.
Xiao Moyan's voice rang out loud and clear, standing in the courtyard hollering like that. All the neighbors heard every word crystal clear. Grandpa Xiao came chassing out with a broom.
Shame on you, old man. Chugging your grandkids' baby milk.
So before an hour was even up, everyone in Southern Village, young and old, knew that Grandpa Xiao had guzzled the baby milk meant for the 2 little ones. Su Wanshu got home and collapsed on the bed, laughing her guts out. Grandpa Xiao really made a fool of himself this time. Big time. Xiao Guanchen and Xiao Guanji didn't row back with the ox cart till late afternoon. Their faces lit up with big old grins.
Wenjie, you head on back now. Tomorrow, I'll tidy up the place and have your second sis-in-law, little uncle, and Xiaoyan move over to your place, 'cause we're starting construction here right away.
You got it. Soon as I get back, I'll fix up that side room.
Xiao Guanjie came home swinging 2 big crucian carp, beaming with joy.
Dad, sold all that snake meat.
Sold them all. Sold them all. That tavern in neighboring Geo Town snapped up all our snake meat, whipped up a dish right there on the spot. The aroma. Oh man, you could smell it down the whole street. They bought up every last bit and paid a fair price to boot. 2 coppers a pound. Same as pork.
Yeah. Since the snake meat sold like hotcakes, how come you're back so late?
No need to go into town looking for builders. We'll spruce up the house first thing tomorrow, and move over to your third uncle's for now.
Dad, what kind of house you got in mind? Wanna spill the details?
Xiao Guancheng didn't hold back from Su Wanshu, and just sketched out the rough layout of the house he had in mind.
Nah, the family is bound to grow with more little brothers and sisters down the line. Building just a small courtyard might not cut it for living space. How about making it a 2-courtyard setup instead? If Dad's short on silver, I've got some here too.
Second aunt, what is in this candle basket? Why is it so heavy?
How'd I forget about this? Now that times are better. Guihua, take good care of yourself. Who knows? You might just give me a little one. Little uncle, Dad's all ears to you. I'll chat with Master Wang tomorrow, and we'll build us a proper 2-courtyard house.
Make it a grand 2-courtyard one, not some small setup, with gardens front and back.
Sounds good. And throw in a big garden too.
Moving's a real pain, but the whole family's thrilled about it. For Xiao Guancheng's family, it is a huge milestone. Xiao Sulan wouldn't dream of missing it. She is here to snoop around for Su Wanshu's magical stone peace buckle. Once she finds that peace buckle that sprouts all sorts of crops, she can kick back and live the good life.
Second aunt, I've come to help with the move.
Sister, Sulan's here. We've got so much stuff, and it is all heavy. Don't wear yourself out. We can handle the packing ourselves.
No worries. We're family. Of course I'm here to lend a hand.
Alright. Then, Sister Sulan, could you grab the quilts and such? They're a bit lighter.
What is the point of keeping such filthy quilts? For the dog's bed or what? To make a good impression on Su Wanshu and coax some info out of him. Xiao Sulan has no choice but to hold her nose and haul those grimy quilts outside, loading them onto the ox cart.
Second aunt, what is in this candle basket? Why is it so heavy?
Just some odds and ends.
I'll have Xiaoyan grab the candles later. Just take the lighter stuff.
Yeah. Sister Sulan, these bamboo baskets are too heavy. You grab the bowls and dishes. Clear these.
Brother-in-law, why don't you take a break first, and we'll tackle the rest later. There is just so much to do around here. You can't knock it all out in one shot.
The house is crammed with all sorts of random junk, and little Yan's about as reliable as they come. Earlier, while digging under the bed, I pulled out this old jar. He claims it was for catching loaches back when he was a kid. Right in the middle of all this hustle, he grabs the jar and heads off to go fishing for loaches.
Yeah, I mean, with all this stuff piled up around the house, you'll forget about some of it after it has been tucked away for ages. Then when you drag it back out, it feels like brand new all over again. The other day when I got back and was sorting through my clothes at home, I found it tucked right in there. This jade peace buckle I'd been hunting for forever. Brother-in-law, you got a peace buckle of your own. I hear wearing one keeps you safe and sound your whole life through.
As she said that, Su Wanshu gave Xiao Sulan a silent thumbs up in her mind. She figured, why else would Xiao Sulan show up out of the blue to lend a hand today? Turns out he'd set his sights on her all along. He'd been dropping hints about that peace buckle, subtle and not so subtle. Did he know about the space's secret too?
Back then, the family was so broke we could barely put food on the table. Where would we even get a peace buckle?
You didn't turn up anything like that while tidying up today. I remember those itinerant peddlers who used to roll through the village. You could trade a pound of corn for 3 stone peace buckles. You never snagged any back then.
Su Wanshu shook her head. Next time, one of those peddlers swings by, I'll trade for a bunch more. Who knows, maybe even score a system or something. Xiao Sulan watched as Su Wanshu just stood there, like a block of wood, not giving an inch on anything. He nearly ground his pearly whites to dust.
Little uncle, come take a look at this wooden box. Ain't it just fantastic?
Here we go.
Xiao Sulan watched as Su Wanshu dashed off, and he wasn't in any rush to head out. In a bit, he'd circle back and sound out Yang Guihua some more. Yang Guihua was as guileless as they come. If she'd laid eyes on that jade peace buckle, it'd stick in her mind for sure.
You showed up at the perfect time, little uncle. Take a look at these blueprints Master Wang drew up.
That bird's eye view of the whole place is drawn with such fine detail. Even Su Wanshu, with her modern sensibilities, can't help but let out a gasp of admiration. This one piece of Gongbi artwork alone, put it in modern times, and it make him a master artist.
Grandpa, the house looks gorgeous.
Glad you like it.
The whole Jiang Guancheng family happily hung around the construction site for half the afternoon, not heading home together until dusk fell. The moment Su Wanshu walked in, she saw Xiao Sulan sitting in the main hall, chatting with Grandma Xiao.
Second aunt, let me give you a hand with dinner. Second aunt, when you married into the family with little uncle, you didn't bring much in the way of fine belongings, just showed up on your own like that.
Young Guihua prattled on about it all. At last, Xiao Sulan caught wind that Su Wanshu had come to the Xiao household without a single thing to her name. She mulled it over in her mind. So just where did Su Wanshu get that stone peace buckle from?
Guancheng, you've gone and built such a grand courtyard for your family. But with only 4 folks living there, it is bound to feel a tad too spacious. If you ask me, a new house like that ought to be filled with more people to really bring the energy and make it bustle. You all should take the front courtyard and let Jinbao have the back one. What with Jinbao facing his Tongsheng exam in the latter half of the year, and him destined to become a man of great learning down the line. If your family lives right alongside him, you might just catch a bit of that scholarly glow rubbing off on you.
Grandpa, I'd love to move in and stay with you all too. My old boudoir's been sitting empty for so long. It has gotten downright shabby. Before long, our family's set to ally with the Lin family from town through marriage, and having folks see me holed up in a dump like that would only tarnish my reputation.
Solan's got a fair point there. Who knows? Maybe the whole Xiao family will end up relying on Sulan to get by. Then it is settled. Once Guancheng's house is built, your siblings can move to the backyard, and Guancheng's family stays in the front yard.
Grandpa, with second uncle's whole family moving in to stay with you, I'm worried there might not be enough food to go around at home, so later I'll have my dad send over some rice.
Everyone standing nearby, overhearing Grandpa Xiao and Xiao Sulan like this, was completely floored. How could the world still have a grandpa and granddaughter from the Xiao family this shameless?
Sister Sulang, why on earth do you want to move into our place? Didn't you say last time you've got plenty of silver on hand, that you could build your own house?
Well, it is 'cause I'm set on the old house. That is a real blessed spot, and I want to soak up a bit of that good fortune too.
Sister Sulan, by that logic, the folks who really ought to be crashing in our backyard right now, our third aunt and the little brother and sister. They're not strong. They need that blessing even more.
Little uncle, actually, Grandpa having Jinbao stay at the old house is also 'cause he hopes Jinbao nails the Tongsheng exam on his first shot. In our Xiao family, it took generations to finally produce someone like Jinbao, who can actually read. Whether our Xiao family can bring glory to our ancestors down the line, that is all riding on Jinbao.
Seeing Xiao Sulan deliver this with total deadpan seriousness, Su Wanshu just couldn't hold it in and let out a sudden snort of laughter. Xiao Jinbao's really not much of a student at the town private school. He can hardly make out more than a few characters, and with that, forget about passing the Tongsheng exam. Even snagging a basic bookkeeping job at a shop would be way over his head.
Grandpa, with second uncle's whole family moving in to stay with you, I'm worried there might not be enough food to go around at home, so later I'll have my dad send over some rice.
Guancheng, with your whole family eating and drinking here at my place, you can't go without chipping in a single copper coin.
Dad, I've already bought the rice and flour, and some meat too.
As he spoke, Xiao Guancheng headed back to his room in the east wing, pulling out 50 pounds of rice, 50 pounds of flour, along with a big slab of wild boar meat and 100 pounds of corn.
This'll keep our whole family fed for a month, and if we run short later, I'll go fetch more. We just planted some veggies in the courtyard at first, and they're thriving nicely. So I've had them all moved to the plot behind our house. And soon we won't be short on grains around here.
Grandpa Xiao watched as Xiao Guancheng hauled out all this food, and the grin spreading across his face was impossible to hide. With the whole family gathered round the table, there is no way his folks are tucking into fine white rice and flour, while this old man here chows down on cornbread.
Grandpa, my eldest uncle broke into our house and stole from us, and the whole village knows it.
Grandpa Zhao picks up the hot tea from the table and takes a gentle sip.
Guancheng, you're a real pro at hunting these days, bringing in the silver to fix up the house. And even got Xiaoyan hitched with a wife. But you can't just forget about your big brother now. Next time you head back, bring along a bit of silver. Pick up some good eats and drinks for him. and drop him off. He is laid up with that injury lately. Can't handle the field work anymore. And you've got that water buffalo right there at home. So why not plow his fields too while you're at it? Once your big brother's back on his feet, he'll sure remember your kindness, Grandpa.
Have you forgotten how my eldest uncle even got that injury?
Hey, you hush up now! This ain't no place for a young'un like you to butt in.
Grandpa, my eldest uncle broke into our house and stole from us, and the whole village knows it. Not only won't you call him out on it, you're just gonna keep taking his side. Don't you think that is going too far? And, in my family, I call the shots. Mom's got a soft heart, always has. You could push her around back in the day. She never dared speak up. But starting today, as long as I'm here, Su Wangshu, stuff like this is never happening again. Grandpa, if you want to live out your days in peace, then watch what you say. Grandma, here is 10 taels of silver. Take it. We've got way too many things to get for the house. So use this to cover household needs.
Little uncle, don't pay any mind to Grandpa's nonsense. I run things in this family. Got any issues? Just tell Grandma about them. Grandma will stand up for you, no doubt.
Grandma, you like shepherd's purse dumplings. Later, I'll go pick some shepherd's purse, and we'll wrap them into dumplings together.
Okay. Uncle's the one who truly looks out for Grandma.
Grandma and her grandchild chatting and laughing together. Grandpa Xiao, chest tight with frustration, turned and headed back to the inner room to stew in his anger alone.
Mom, I talked it over with village head Lai today, and I am thinking of buying 10 acres of dry land. It is too late now to plant wheat or upland rice. But once Mu Yan and I turn over that dry land, we'll sow it with corn. This winter, even if we don't have much wheat flour to go around, at least we'll have some corn cakes to tide us over.
When Grandma Xiao heard that Guancheng had bought 10 acres of wasteland, she didn't call him crazy. Instead, she got Guan Jie to pitch in and help him plow and plant the corn. She said, plant whatever you can, every little bit counts. If it is more than you can handle, just pick up some fruit tree saplings and plant those in the wasteland too.
Grandma, how about I take you tomorrow to watch Mo Yan planting corn? I guarantee it'll blow your mind.
Grandma Xiao was puzzled. What is so surprising about Mu Yan helping out in the fields? She is just pitching in like everyone else. Still, seeing how eager her granddaughter was to invite her along, she figured she'd go take a look for herself. And while she was at it, she'd lend a hand with the corn planting. 10 acres of wasteland, that is a lot. And with just 3 men in the family, they might not even finish an acre in a whole day. Any help she could give would be welcome. Dinner was whipped up by Yang Guihuang, a big pot of steamed buns, and a huge bowl of stir-fried taro with pork. It had been ages since they'd had any meat on the table, with those fluffy white buns and thick slabs of pork belly staring them down. Everyone tucked in with real satisfaction. Even Grandpa Xiao, who was always quick to grumble, didn't let loose with any of his usual appetite spoilers this time. He just kept his head down and shoveled it in.
Mom, that taro you cooked is delicious.
These are last year's taro. Been sitting around so long, they're not as fresh anymore. Tomorrow, I'll hitch a ride on the village ox cart into town and pick up some veggies to bring back.
Mom, are you going by yourself?
I'll tag along with you, Liu Xiangyi. She is a pro at bargaining.
Little uncle, wanna have a baby for me? I want to. Cute little ones just like Big Treasure and Little Treasure.
Little Yan, you two head to bed. I'm so sleepy.
Su Wanshu takes Yao Moyan's hand, stands up, and bows to everyone in the main hall. Then, they head back to their room.
Little Yan, which color quilt do you like for the bed? The peony pattern one or the Chinese peony one?
I want to share a quilt with little uncle.
You take up the whole quilt all by yourself. How am I supposed to squeeze in? Better for each of us to have our own quilt.
Jinbao says, you're my wife. So you ought to share a quilt with me. And he said, you're gonna have babies for me.
When did you run into Xiao Jinbao?
When we were catching loaches down by the river.
What else did Xiao Jinbao tell you?
Little Yan's cheeks suddenly flush red. She stammers on for ages without getting a full sentence out.
Little Yan, look at me. You can't pull one over on Jinbao.
Jinbao says, if you won't have babies for me, then Yongqiang Yao showed me those pictures of a couple getting frisky. Little uncle, don't worry. I swear, I won't listen to Jinbao and mess with you.
Su Wanshu's fit to burst with anger. Xiao Jinbao's barely out of diapers and already going astray. A naughty little rascal like that, dreaming of passing the Tongsheng exams. That is just pie in the sky for him.
Keep your distance from Xiao Jinbao from now on. Hang around him too long, and it'll rub off. You'll turn dim-witted.
I ain't playing with Xiao Jinbao anymore. Little uncle, wanna have a baby for me? I want two. Cute little ones, just like Big Treasure and Little Treasure.
Look at third aunt. She slimmed down a ton having Big Treasure and Little Treasure. Do you want me to end up like that too?
Xiao Muyan thought of how the Zhao family turned out, his little head shaking like a rattle drum. He didn't want his little aunt to turn out like the Zhao family.
Well, that settles it then. Now get to bed. Quick, tomorrow. We've got to plow the fields at home, and you're our main muscle.
Xiao Muyan got an earful from Su Wanshu, and never dare dream of her having a baby for him again.
Old lady, you're not running the house right anymore.
Yesterday, you said these eggs were saved for the third daughter-in-law. How come you've let them all get gobbled up today?
Today, Guan Cheng and Guan Jie are heading out to reclaim that wasteland, so I gotta whip up a hearty breakfast for them. Or how else are they gonna have the strength to work?
Xiao Guancheng, you got no respect for your old man anymore. Something as big as buying land, and you don't even tell me. You trying to start a rebellion or what?
Dad, I'm telling ya. Would you even let me buy it?
I'm no fool. How could I let you waste the silver on this worthless scrub?
There ya. Go then. Dad, I've got the house. Building tying up my hands. Ain't got a coin left. If it was good farmland, I'd only snag 2 acres. But with wasteland, I can grab a whole lot more. Dad, sure, my leg's a bit gimpy, but I've got plenty of muscle. I'll make these 10 acres of scrub bloom for sure.
Grandpa Xiao wouldn't hear of it. Silver's already spent. No talking. It back now. Xiao Guangcheng never figured Grandpa Xiao'd join in on that hearty breakfast. Anyway, everyone in the family but Zhao headed out to reclaim the wasteland and plant corn.
Dad, all these weeds, how we gonna clear them out?
Your third uncle, and I'll start by chopping down those trees. You all take sickles to the weeds. Hand the little shrubs off to Xiaoyan. He has got the brawn to hack 'em with a sickle.
Xiaoyan, come try this. See if you can yank out this little shrub.
Xiao Muyan, knee-deep in the grass chasing grasshoppers, heard Su Wanshu calling, and came scampering over all excited.
Little uncle, you step aside a bit. It is full of thorns up there. Watch out. Don't snag your new clothes.
Little Yan, how about we strike a deal? You pull up one little shrub, and I'll get you a barley candy. The more you pull up, the more candy I'll buy you.
For real.
Let's get started. Once you're worn out from pulling, we'll tally them up.
You got it.
Jiang Muyan was like a wild horse that had broken free from its reins, cheerfully charging into the barren field. Whichever bush is the biggest, he yanks out first.
Little uncle, what is going on here? How did Xiaoyan suddenly get so strong? He was never like this before.
Dad, remember that night? Xiaoyan and I came back late from the hunt. One of the snakes we killed that day was a mechanism king snake. Xiaoyan nearly drank every drop of that snake's blood, and that is how he ended up like this.
While they were chatting away, Jiao Muyan had already uprooted 5 little bushes. Looking at how effortlessly he is handling it, even if he pulled up every last one of these little bushes, it wouldn't faze him one bit.
Little uncle, is the blood from that mechanism king snake really that potent?
Third uncle, the snake blood's all gone, but we've still got some snake meat back home. I'll whip some up just for you when we get back, though I can't say if it'll pack the same punch.
Sounds good. Ma, make me some snake meat for lunch today. Little uncle, come count some. How many little bushes we got?
Xiaoyan, you're incredible. Xiaoyan, you tired?
Nope, little uncle. Hurry up and count. How many we got? You better not cheat. Or no malt candy for me.
Xiaoyan, no need to count. I'll get you 10 pounds of malt candy. Enough to stuff yourself, deal.
Jiao Muyan had no clue what 10 pounds even meant. In the end, Su Wanshu chimed in about filling a whole bamboo basket for her, and that is what sealed the deal. Xiao Muyan declared he wasn't tired one bit. Then he joined Su Wanshu in cutting the fresh grass.
Xiaoyan, take a break. Grandma can't keep up.
Grandma, have a seat. We've bundled up all this grass. It'd be great if we ran into a few pheasants or hares.
Your grandpa's a rabbit in the zodiac. He never touches hare meat. We used to catch some around here, but he always sold them off. He wouldn't eat it, and wouldn't let us have any either.
Last night, as Shu listened to Grandma Shao, she thought to herself, then I really ought to snag a wild hare. Put a drop of spirit spring water in there, and that'll have the old coot drooling his head off.
Thanks to the mountain god watching over our family, we'll head to the mountain god's temple real soon and lay out the finest offerings for him.
Xiaoyang, come here quick. Here is a wild hare for you.
Why am I hearing a pheasant calling out?
What is the deal with today? These pheasants and hares all lost their minds or something.
Pheasant.
You little rascal. All you can think about is scarfing down these pheasants. Save some for your third aunt. Ain't the rabbit meat filling you up?
Guihua, you notice how slick you are with your words these days, and how you're thinking things through so well.
Yeah. Really?
Thanks to the mountain god blessing our family, we'll head to the mountain god's temple real soon and lay out the finest offerings for him.
When Xiao Guancheng's family wrapped up their morning work and headed home, they hauled back all this game. It called to the villagers' eyes right away. The villagers figured that patch of wasteland at Xiao Guangcheng's place hadn't seen a soul in years, so a bit of game turning up ain't all that surprising.
Mom, let me help you with the cooking.
All right, you tend the fire for me and let Grandma go rest inside a bit. She is worn out from the whole morning.
Fresh, tender rabbit meat just needs a good simmer in the big iron pot for 20 minutes. And it is ready. With the rabbit meat all cooked up now, the Shao family's getting set to dig in. Everything set with the bowls and chopsticks. Grandma Shao finally piped up, catching on late.
Where is your dad, Guancheng?
He head over to Big Brother's for lunch. Mom, we've been busting our tails all morning. Everybody's starving. Let's eat first.
Dig in, everybody.
The Shao family keeps very strict house rules. With the head of the house not back yet, they sure as heck won't start dinner without him. That little rascal Xiao Guancheng, always picking fights with him, so I'll just let him skip a meal. In a bit, I'll see if he can still strut around like that. Grandpa Xiao's just reaching his own doorstep. A thick, savory wave of meaty aroma hits him full in the face. He can't help swallowing hard. Looks like the family's whipped up a big old meat feast again. Huh, what a pack of spendthrifts. We just scraped together a little silver from hunting, and you're blowing it all like this. Won't be long before we're right back to starving our guts out.
Oh, the lady. Why didn't you hold off and wait for me to get back for dinner?
We braised up a rabbit for lunch today, and you never touched the stuff anyway.
A whole basin of rabbit meat like that, and you all just polished it off without me. Even if I wasn't planning to eat any, you should have at least saved a bit for the elders.
Grandpa, I haven't even gotten my fill yet. There is none left. Now, we sent it over to Uncle.
Saying that, Zhang Muyan dives right back in, chomping away at the meat.
You've all cleared out the food. So what am I supposed to eat now?
You stubborn old goat. What is all the hollering for? Who said you could drag your feet getting home?
I figured you'd gone over to the Guanli place for lunch.
Grandma Xiao grabs a cornmeal bun and a bowl of green soup from the kitchen. This was set aside for Xiao Mian's afternoon bite, to hold her over. Guess it'll have to do for Grandpa Xiao now.
You skipped out on purpose. So tough luck. Go hungry this afternoon.
The Xiao folks head out to the fallow field, in good spirits, to keep breaking ground for the corn. Xiao Guancheng goes ahead and sets a hillside blaze, torching every bit of scrub grass that can burn in the field.
Second point. Haven't we got our own big water buffalo at home? So why'd you go borrow another one?
Our buffalo's got to give milk every day. Didn't want to run him ragged with all that field work. So once this borrowed one's pooped out, ours can spell him.
Second, give our big buffalo a go at it. This ox from the village clearly hasn't had its fill.
He has been giving their family's big water buffalo plenty of that spiritual spring water lately. It must have built up the same kind of strength as Zhang Muyan, all that raw power in its body. That stretch of wasteland which would have taken days to clear out completely, while the old Xiao family just stood there, totally dumbfounded, and got it all planted in just one day. On the way home, Su Wanshu chats with Xiao Guancheng about things back home. Maybe it is time we got another water buffalo that can really pull its weight. The one we've got at home is just rented from the village. Once the year's lease is up, we'll have to give it back, no doubt.
Dad, you head out tomorrow and buy us a bull buffalo to bring home. I've got a plan to convince the village to sell us that water buffalo at the going rate.
So the next morning, bright and early, Xiao Guancheng headed off to town. Nearing noon, he came rolling back in an ox cart. Well, now, the Xiao family was the talk of Nanfeng village all over again.
If we'd known the Xiao family had this kind of money, no way we'd have let them marry her off. Without even asking for a single copper coin in bride price, we'd have married off that ungrateful wretch Su Wanshu to Xiao Muyan.
Ain't that the truth? Su Wanshu, that little hussy, even swiped 5 taels of silver from me when she left. Now, it has all probably gone to line the Xiao family's pockets. We can't just swallow this loss lying down. We've gotta get that bride price back. You're getting married next month. And over there, they're demanding 2 taels for the bride price.
After Wu Laotai and Wu Shan hashed things out at home, they marched right over to the Xiao place.
Xiao Guancheng, the way your family's scheming, that abacus is clacking like fireworks.
Angtuo, what is that supposed to mean?
What do you mean? Back when your family, Xiao Muyan, came begging for a Wanshu, crying and pleading that there was no money to be had at home. Not even 1 tael of silver for the bride price did you cough up for our family, and instead, we shelled out 6 taels worth of dowry from our end, front, and back. I've scraped by this long in my life. Seen plenty of young couples tying the knot. But this is the first time I've laid eyes on a family as shameless as yours. This is straight up a marriage scam, ain't it? If you don't make good on that bride price today, I'll call it square. This ain't over between us.
Granny He, can't you think before you speak? How the hell did I end up marrying into the Xiao family that day? You're already forgetting that so soon. 5th aunt.
Back then, your family was ready to dump Uncle Guan on the back hill to fend for himself and die. If Yang Guihua hadn't stepped in to save him. Now Su Wan, he'd probably just be a pile of bones by now. How can you have the nerve to come asking the Xiao family for the bride price now? You ain't scared the villagers will gossip behind your backs and shame you. Liu Ruijia, don't you go bad-mouthing me like this. Don't you forget. Your family still owes us 500 copper coins, and you haven't paid a dime back.
You've just gotten married, and you're already turning against your own kin.
Don't you forget, it was Wu Shan who raised you for 14 whole years. Without me, you'd have starved to death up in those mountains long ago.
Fine. Didn't you want to settle scores with me? Then let's settle 'em right. When I was 3, I snuck an extra bite of that coarse grain bun. Old Lady Wu grabbed a rod and whipped me senseless. She nearly beat me to death. That is debt number 1. When I was 4, it was a brutal winter. Every river in the village had frozen solid, dead of winter. And you sent me down to the riverbank to wash clothes. The cold numbed my hands till I couldn't feel a thing. Back home, the clothes weren't clean enough for you. Wu Shan kicked me flat in the yard and laid into me hard. If the weather hadn't turned mild all of a sudden that day, I'd have frozen to death right then. That is debt number 2.
You little wretch. You sure know how to hold a grudge. Still, dredging up stuff from when you were 3 or 4. What kid doesn't catch a beating for screwing up? But you ungrateful wolf, take a couple licks and nurse the hate for over a decade. I'll beat you dead today. So, you can't stir up more trouble for me.
Wife, hit him. He is a bad one.
When I was 6, Old Lady Wu took one look and saw I was turning out pretty enough. That is when her wicked mind started scheming. She figured she'd sell me off as a child bride. I wouldn't have it. So Old Lady Wu tied me up tight, stuffed my mouth, and tried to haul me straight over there. That adoptive father of mine was a real old pervert. All the concubines in that house had died 4 or 5 of them. By the time I got there, only 1 was left. Back then, I managed to work the cloth loose from my mouth and bit right through my tongue to end it all. After that, for years on end, I couldn't bring myself to utter a word. Every time I tried, my tongue would burn with agony. Your whole family is utterly devoid of conscience. Heavens! I bit my own tongue to kill myself, and you didn't even bother to save me. The moment the gash on my tongue started to mend a little, Old Lady Wu snatched up the fire tongs and clamped them on it. watching blood pour from my mouth like that. Only then did she feel some twisted satisfaction. And the reason old lady Wu flew into such a rage was that I hadn't been sold off after all. She'd been cheated out of 2 taels of silver. That is the 3rd atrocity.
Now, spotting the ferocious Su Wanshu barreling toward him once more, he bolted, desperate to get away.
Room 4. When I was 7 years old, Tai Niu came down with a bad cold. No clue where Wushan picked up that twisted folk remedy, claiming human blood could act as the key ingredient to cure the chills. He straight up slashed my hand a dozen times over. Every single day, he'd drain my blood for Tai Niu to swallow. He kept it up until Tai Niu's cold finally cleared up, then finally backed off. Wushan, how about I poke a dozen holes in you right now to settle that old debt? Once you've paid up what you owe, I won't come after you for anything else. Hell, I'll even make sure the Xiao family coughs up a proper bride price. Sound fair to you?
Second uncle. You've gotta be mixing it up, 'cause you were just a kid back then. No way you remember every little detail that sharp. Or are you just pinning all your nightmare bullshit on your adoptive dad?
Those few things I just mentioned. The whole village remembers them clear as day. If you're dead set on denying it, we can always drag Li Zheng in here to sort it out. Oh, right, almost slipped my mind. Back when you married me off to Xiaoyan, we put it all down in writing. And now you're barging into the Xiao family, demanding a bride price. That is a straight-up slap in Li Zheng's face. Say Li Zheng shows up. Whose side do you think you'll take?
If he still won't own up to it, then we'll whip him till he does.
Stop it! Stop hitting him! Fine, I won't take the damn bride price! Alright.
I'm laying it out plain today. Su Wanshu cut ties with your Wu family ages ago. No strings attached. If your Wu clan shows up stirring shit again, next time, I won't be so damn polite. Won't just be a quick beating.
Anyone lays a finger on my wife, I'll fight him to the death.
You know what? Zhao Moyan's presence is still pretty intimidating. Su Wanshu, shielded behind him, felt a warm glow in her heart. She never imagined that one day she'd need a man to stand up for her.
Uncle Chao, come on over to Grandma.
Grandma.
Little uncle, you did exactly the right thing just now.
If anyone ever dares to mess with our family again, just beat 'em senseless for me.
Little uncle, take a look. Any cuts or bruises on your hands. Next time, don't grab such thick, thorny branches for whipping folks. If you need to lay into someone, just tell Xiaoyan. He has got skin like leather and hands like hammers.
Mom's got a point, little uncle. If anybody dares to bully you from now on, I'll pound them flat with my fists.
Man, it feels amazing to have folks who really care about you. The big water buffalo Xiao Guancheng brought back from town is a bull, a whole size bigger than our old cow. That afternoon, while Su Wanshu was giving the big buffalo a drink, she mixed in a 10th part dilution of spirit spring water and fed it to him. After all, he'll be our main muscle around here from now on. Most of the herbs in the spirit spring space had already sprouted. As Su Wanshu wandered through the space, her favorites were always those dozen ginseng roots and the 9-leaf linger she'd planted. Su Wanshu was keeping track of the days, at most 5 days more, and the 9-leaf linger she'd harvested would be fully mature. After her rounds in the space, Su Wanshu pulled out the bamboo tube where she kept her centipedes. She uncapped the tube and saw that of the dozen or so centipedes inside, only one was still alive.
Who'd have thought a simple country girl could survive Tianluo ghost grass poisoning? How intriguing.
Su Wanshu couldn't shake the doubt in her mind. She had to double-check. Was it really Tianluo ghost grass in her blood? So the next day, Su Wanshu and Xiao Muyan strapped on their baskets and headed into the mountains again. Su Wanshu was set on gathering dust-free flowers. Up on the ridge, the dustless flower is an excellent antidote.
Xiaoyan, slow down a bit. You're going way too fast. How are we supposed to find Uncle Wu Chenhua like this?
My mottos.
Tomorrow we'll take Dad's ox cart into town, and I'll get you 2 baskets full of maltos.
Alright. So are we heading to the valley today after all?
Nah, skip it. We've combed through that whole area already. Let's try somewhere new today.
Guihua, your Xiaoyan sure hit the jackpot marrying Uncle Wan.
She is made out like a bandit.
But how is it feel?
Lately, Xiaoyan's gotten real sharp and clever, and her tongue's gotten quick as a whip.
See, Told ya. When you're picking a wife, go for one who is tough and feisty. From here on out, I'll hunt for a rugged one just like my little uncle.
Little uncles are family's lucky charm, but Xiaoyan's no slouch either. He'll sure know how to dote on his wife down the line.
桂花, you've gotten pretty bold yourself. Back in the day, when I tease you and poke fun a couple times, all you'd do is hold it in till your face turned beet red. But never once fire back now. You're sassing me like this.
Xiaoyan, we're not pushing deeper into the hills today. Let's head back for now and pick up the search tomorrow.
Little uncle, what kind of herb are you after? I can help you spot it.
Red flowers about the size of a fist. Kinda like chrysanthemums. And they smell just like
Even sweeter than osmanthus.
way more fragrant than osmanthus. Xiaoyan, what is this you're up to?
I'll carry you on my back. You'll keep an eye along the riverbank. That way we can move quicker. And who knows, maybe we'll snag those dustless flowers before we head down the mountain today.
Okay, just don't speed off too quick. I might miss Uncle Wu Chenhua.
Gotcha.
Xiaoyan, slow down a bit at this speed. How are we gonna find the dust-free flowers?
Didn't you just say the dust-free flowers smell even better than osmanthus? My nose is sharp as can be. Soon as there is dust-free flowers around us, I'll definitely smell them.
Xiaoyan, how about we take a break here?
Just a bit longer. I think I just caught a whiff of some really rich floral scent.
As soon as they stepped into the dense forest, Su Wanshu immediately sensed the air growing much damper around them. And glancing at the soil peeking through the grass, Su Wanshu couldn't help but get excited too. With an environment this humid, it is perfect for dust-free flowers to thrive.
Uncle, look over there. Is that dust-free flower?
There, not far off, was a vibrant crimson patch.
Xiaoyan, did you pick up on the dust-free flower scent back there?
It is even sweeter than osmanthus.
Xiaoyan, you're incredible.
Su Wanshu was thrilled beyond words and planted a big smooch on Xiao Mingyan's head. With so many dust-free flowers, could he gather enough for some huikui dyeing? Dust-free flowers are red. When mixed with other colored dyes, they produce all sorts of vibrant hues. But no matter the shade, as long as dust-free flowers are the base dye, it is known as red brocade.
Uncle, you just sit tight. I'll pick them for you.
Su Wanshu figured he'd try his luck digging around here, hoping to unearth some herbs to take back. He'd once come across a book that mentioned a pill called the Changsheng pill. Take it regularly, and you'd stay forever young, immortal, and ageless. If he refined the Changsheng pill using herbs from his Lingquan space, would it really work as promised in the book? This thought sparked a fresh spark of excitement in Su Wanshu's life. The allure of the Changsheng pill outshone even hunting down the one who'd poisoned the original host.
Uncle, why are you playing in the mud all by yourself? This is no fun on your own. Let me join you. Look at this little puppy I molded. It is so lifelike.
You're the one playing in the mud. Your whole family's a bunch of mud monkeys. It is getting late. We should head back soon.
After getting back home, Su Wanshu took a pristine flower and crushed it, dripping a drop of her own blood into the bowl. The once ordinary red mixture suddenly shimmered with specks of brilliant blue light. This settles it. Su Wanshu could now be certain that she had indeed been poisoned by celestial net ghost grass. Su Wanshu pulled from her space the pair of silver bracelets she'd gotten from the Wu family back then. The bracelets were engraved with Su Wanshu's name. This meant her birth had been eagerly anticipated. Feeling the weight of the silver bracelets, she was definitely no poor family's child. The next day, Su Wanshu and Xiao Muren tagged along with Yang Guihua to the market, picking up a few tools for making pills and powders along the way.
We don't even have hand buns. Our family steamed buns are the best.
As she spoke casually, Su Wanshu perked up, her eyes scanning the nearby stalls selling buns and steamed buns. An idea sparked in her mind. Their buffalo milk is so rich and good. Why not steam some milk, infused buns, and sell them in town? On the ox cart ride back to the village, she brought it up with Xiao Guanchen and Yang Guihua.
That is a solid idea.
Just the other day, I steamed a pot of those buffalo milk buns, and folks from the village all came asking. I got so spooked. I haven't dared make more since.
Let's chat with your third uncle when we get back.
He used to run a stall in town selling wontons. And if he thinks it is doable, we could set up our own stall there too. Sister Guan, let's steam up a pot of those milk buns first and see how it goes. If it really takes off, I'll head out and buy a few more buffaloes. If you're thanking anyone, thank little uncle. It was his idea.
Xiaoshuo, as long as this works out, when you and Xiaoyan make up that wedding feast, third uncle, I'll stuff a big red envelope for you.
Steaming milk-infused buns isn't any big technical feat. It didn't take long at all. A whole pot of steaming hot, milk-infused steamed buns, rich with that creamy aroma, came right out.
They're absolutely delicious. In all my years, I've never tasted steamed buns this soft and fluffy.
Second, sister-in-law.
These milk-infused steamed buns are bound to sell like hotcakes.
But won't the cost end up being a tad too high?
For steaming this whole pot of milk-infused buns, I didn't even use a full bowl of buffalo milk.
Second, sister-in-law.
Tomorrow morning, I'll pitch in and help you steam those water buffalo milk buns so Guanji can haul them to town and sell them. We'll start with 100. If they sell well, we'll whip up 200 more tomorrow.
Second daughter-in-law, you haven't fully recovered yet. No need for you to be steaming buns. Even if the men around here can't steam a bun, to save their lives, they can at least handle kneading the dough. Have them all drag themselves out of bed at dawn tomorrow to help me knead it. Me and the Guihua, we'll just handle the final shaping.
You get up with your 2 boys and steam the buns. But don't count on me. I'm out at the site every single day, watching the workers build that house for Guancheng. And it is exhausting. I just can't haul myself up that early.
If you won't help steam the buns, then you don't get any.
How could Grandpa Shao pass up water buffalo milk buns? He pursed his lips and strolled off with his hands clasped behind his back. Grandma Zhang was so steamed her teeth ached. If it weren't for her son and daughters-in-law being right there, she'd have marched right up and given Grandpa Shao a good walloping. The next day was market day in town. Before the crack of dawn, the Shao household, everyone but Grandpa Shao, was up and at it, steaming up those water buffalo milk buns. Steaming perfect buns calls for careful kneading. If you rush the kneading, they turn out tough and no fun to eat. The town market rolls around every 5 days, and come that day, hawkers from all over flock to set up shop. Su Wan, Shu Mei, and Yang Guihua pitched in to mind Wang's stall, while she tugged Xiao Muyan into the bustling crowd, just wandering the fair at their leisure.
Step right up, folks. Don't miss out.
We've got the trendiest velvet flowers right here,
The prettiest scarves.
and the widest range of colored threads.
All you young ladies. And all you aunties, come on over and take a peek.
There was a peddler with a whole pile of assorted odds and ends spread out in front of him. And in a flash, as Su Wanshu's eyes caught sight of a bunch of little trinkets tucked among the jumble, including some peace buckles that looked just like the one dangling from his neck.
How much for this peace buckle?
Oh, you've got a sharp eye, miss. This peace buckle's carved from pear blossom stone, handpicked right off Kunlun Mountain, just to wear this peace buckle. And it'll keep you safe and sound for life. This one's 10 coppers. Take your pick.
I'll take all 10 of these, so give me a good deal on the lot.
The peddler never figured Su Wanshu for such a big buyer. These stone peace buckles aren't worth a thing, really. Kunlun pear blossom stone. That is just a load of nonsense. The peddler and Su Wanshu going back and forth, haggling away for what felt like forever, until Su Wanshu finally snapped up the whole batch for 5 coppers apiece.
This one's for you. Don't go losing it on me.
Shao Muyandang, grown up like this, had never once gotten a gift from anyone else. Her rough, calloused hands gently caressed the peace buckle.
A gift from my wife. No way it'll get lost.
Didn't you used to call me little uncle? How come you're always calling me wife these days?
That is how my dad called my mom. He said Osmanthus was her name, and sure, others could call her that. But, wife, that is his and his alone.
Grandma, our buffalo milk buns are flying off the shelves. Huh, you should have seen it. 4 of us scrambling to take the money, and we still couldn't keep up. Someone to buy one, take a bite, and find it delicious, then hightail it back for 10 more. Especially the families with kids. 1 whiff of our buffalo milk buns. Even if they're short on cash, they'd still snag a couple for the little ones back home.
As noon approached, The whole Xiao family finally loaded up the ox cart and headed back to the village. Plenty of folks at the market today went home without any of our buffalo milk buns. Everyone's asking about their family. Will they be back tomorrow to sell? Otherwise, we'll have to go to town to buy. Xiao Guancheng sees the steamed buns selling like hotcakes. So, of course, they'll come back tomorrow to keep the sales going.
No worries, no worries. We're sisters. No big deal about gains or losses. I just think yours is nicer.
Sister Shulan, haven't seen you in a couple days. Why haven't you been out and about?
I've been doing embroidery at home these past couple days. That is why I haven't gone out. You're so bold.
Yeah, it is actually a ton of fun. I wandered around so much. I didn't want to head home. Oh, right. Look. I bought this peace buckle from an old grandpa at the market. Didn't you say last time that wearing a peace buckle keeps you safe? So I remembered that.
Though Xiao Sulan got the peace buckle's mystical space in her previous life, she mostly just wore the peace buckle around her neck, rarely paying attention to the patterns on it.
Little uncle, the peace buckle you bought is so pretty. Could you give it to me? I'll give you a jade one in return.
I really like this buckle too.
Little uncle, how about you reluctantly part with it for me? My jade piece buckle is more than enough.
Then take it out now. Let me see it.
Sure. Come with me.
I'll get it for you right now.
I guarantee you'll love it.
Xiao Sulan has worked in the town's embroidery workshop for many years, so she naturally has some valuables on hand.
Little uncle, look at my jade piece buckle. Isn't it nice? It is not only much bigger than that stone one of yours, but the color's gorgeous too.
Sister Shulan, your peace buckle is huge. I can't take it. You'd be losing out too much.
No worries. No worries. We're sisters. No talk of gains or losses. I just think yours is better.
Su Wanshu reluctantly swapped peace buckles with Xiao Sulan, watching Xiao Sulan's joyful retreating figure. A slight curve tugged at the corners of Su Wanshu's lips, revealing a mischievous grin. This time, she was absolutely sure that Xiao Sulan really knew about the mystical space hidden inside the stone peace buckle. But Su Wanshu couldn't help feeling a surge of curiosity. How on earth had Xiao Sulan discovered it? She finally racked her brains, snatching the stone piece buckle she'd been obsessing over. Her eyes fluttered shut as she poured every ounce of focus into the peace buckle. After what felt like forever, Xiao Sulan opened her eyes, staring in disbelief at the peace buckle in her hand. She'd poured her heart into it for ages just now. Yet, the peace buckle showed no sign of life. Xiao Sulan refused to give up, pricking her finger open and letting a drop of blood fall onto the peace buckle, desperately hoping to forge a bond with the space inside. But even stained with her blood, the peace buckle remained utterly unchanged. No, Xiao Sulan was utterly baffled. Could this peace buckle really have no space at all? How could that be? In her dream, this was the very stone peace buckle she'd seized from Su Wanshu. So why, now that she was awake, did the one she'd claimed hold no space? Xiao Sulan swallowed her seething rage and headed back to Uncle Xiao Guanjie's house.
Auntie 3, I've picked up 10 peace buckles today, and these 2 are for the little ones. Let's hope they bring us all some good luck.
The jade piece buckle she'd traded away. It'd gotten her nothing but a worthless rock. Xiao Sulan couldn't shake the doubt. Was the spacefaring peace buckle still with Su Wanshu? After wrestling with it, Xiao Sulan made up her mind. She'd seek out that demon monk from her past life, Monk Wuqing. For the sake of her future, Xiao Xuan set out at dawn the next day, under the guise of offering incense, heading alone to Fragrant Leaf Mountain. Lanrou Temple perched halfway up Fragrant Leaf Mountain, a sprawling complex, with its front courtyard teeming with pilgrims, burning incense and paying homage.
Master, this humble girl has a favor to ask. Please, grant me an audience.
Miss, do you know the rules around here?
This humble girl begs the master's aid to divine a lost item, and should the master reveal its whereabouts, I'll consent to any terms he demands.
Monk Wuqing arched an eyebrow and gestured for Xiao Sulan to enter the chamber.
Can you write, miss? Then go on and do so. Why not commit your secret thoughts to paper? Drop it into this basin of water, and this poor monk shall divine the truth for you. It is sweltering in here, though. You'd best slip off that outer robe, miss.
Since Xiao Sulan had come this far, she saw no point in feigning virtue now. Not before Monk Wuqing, and shed her outer garment without a fuss.
The air had grown thick with summer's heat.
Shao Sulan was already lightly clad,
And with this simple act,
only her thin inner robe remained.
Monk Wuqing appraised her like a merchant eyeing wares, his gaze lingering over Shao Sulan's form again and again. Clad now in just her undergarment, Shao Sulan took her seat, picked up the brush, and inscribed her burning question.
Then folded the sheet neatly
and placed it in the basin of water prepared atop the altar. The ink marks on the paper dissolved slowly into the water,
the clear liquid refusing to darken,
but instead taking on a faint crimson hue.
The matter you inquire about is no trifling thing. It'll drain a good deal of my magical power. I'm afraid you'll need to return here thrice, miss.
How can I prevail upon the master to aid me? She dipped a finger lightly into the bowl's water and brought it to her palm, her eyes fluttering shut
as incantations murmured from her lips.
In the span of a single cup of tea, Monk Wuqing's eyes snapped open.
The item you seek lies in the grasp of the one you hold faith in. However, if you wish to reclaim this possession, I'm afraid it won't come easy.
Master, is there a way to break it? I need to get that item back right now.
Of course, there is a way to break it. That depends on whether you're worth me expending my magical power for you.
Shao Sulan knew exactly what the ruthless monk was getting at.
Shao Sulan clenched her teeth and handed the ruthless monk his payment.
She was silenced by the ruthless monk's hand over her mouth and dragged mercilessly into the secret chamber. Shao Sulan was carried back home in a sedan chair at dusk.
Someone asked.
Shao Sulan claimed she'd run into an old acquaintance, a noble lady in town, and the lady had taken pity on her, so she lent her the sedan to bring her home. Once home,
Shao Sulan didn't step out for 5 or 6 days.
She'd come back covered in wounds. If it weren't for Master Wuqing feeding her that potent pill, she might not have even crawled her way back. To track down the space's whereabouts,
Shao Sulan pulled out all the stops. Once her wound started healing a bit,
she went straight to cozy up to Su Wanshu.
The space was still in Su Wanshu's grasp,
so she'd rounded up all the other stone safety buckles she could find.
What about Dabao and Arbao safety buckles?
Those smoke buckles were too heavy. She'd have to swap them for 27-gram Prio ones. Looks like Shao Sulan had figured it out. That emerald safety buckle she'd swapped last time. Total fake.
Then came a loud clank.
A perfectly good safety buckle, split clean in two.
No way. And there is even a hidden compartment. Shao Sulan 是领受住 the short straw. She hadn't even noticed the sandwich layer inside.
Su Wanshu, you little wretch! Where the hell did you stash my space? Shao Sulan was fresh out of moves.
So when the day came for her second visit to Master Wuqing, she tidied herself up and headed back to Lanruo Temple.
Little lady, no idea. Did you track down what you lost?
Not yet. I went to a lot of trouble, but I still couldn't pry it loose from her.
Any chance you've got a way to crack this, Master?
If you can help me get it back, I promise you won't go unrewarded.
As for me, I always chase the new and tire of the old. A type like you, I wouldn't keep around forever.
Master, this foolish woman, pray, enlighten me. Just what must she do to earn your help?
Then you'll need to put real effort into pleasing me. Just keep me satisfied, and I won't cast you aside just yet.
This woman will follow your every command, Master.
Seeing how sweetly obedient you are, I'll see about finding a way to break the seal for you. Do you know the woman's birth chart?
She nodded. Following the heartless monk's instructions,
she wrote Su Wanshu's birth details on a slip of paper. Right before Shao Sulan's eyes, the heartless monk burned the slip to ashes. He dipped a finger in the incense ash,
tracing a circle in his palm.
Then he pressed his palms together, silently chanting the incantation. After a moment, the ruthless monk opens his eyes and gazes at Shao Sulan.
You've never managed to reclaim what is yours, because your fortune thread has run dry. Not long ago, you faced a life and death calamity, and all your fortune thread was spent pulling you through it. That is why, now, whatever you try, nothing ever goes your way.
Master, what am I to do then? Is it too late to cast the spell now?
The ruthless monk shakes his head. Accumulating merit through good deeds can't be achieved in just a day or two.
Then what? Must I wait a decade or two before I can snatch back what is mine?
There is another way. That is to seize that person's fortune thread. Once your fortune thread surpasses theirs, reclaiming what is yours will be effortless.
Seizing the fortune thread. If Su Wanshu falls on hard times, mine will grow.
Ah, so that is her name, Su Wanshu. A fine name, indeed. I'll need to perform a ritual to link your two fortune threads, but the ritual itself will drain my spiritual power.
I'll follow your lead, Master. Save for this humble woman's life. You may ask anything else of me.
Seeing Xiao Solan's ready agreement, the ruthless monk bursts into laughter. He adores women like Xiao Solan, especially when he sees her tormented by inner demons. It stirs an inexplicable thrill in him. He doesn't perform the ritual in her presence. Instead, he tells Xiao Solan, come tomorrow at sunrise. Your fortune thread will link with Su Wanshu's. And as payment, in 7 days' time, you'll return to Lanrua Temple. This time around, he has got no choice but to stick around for 3 full days before heading back. These past few days, Su Wanshu's been heading up the mountain every single day to gather herbs. Once she has unearthed the roots, Su Wanshu and Xiao Miuyan shoulder 4 bundles of fresh greens and make their way back to the village, all smiles.
Listen here, I'm telling you, that Su Wanshu's a straight-up broom star. Her foster mother was cursed to death by her, plain and simple.
Sure, the Xiao family's hawking water buffalo milk and steamed buns these days, scraping together a bit of silver. But long as Su Wanshu still hold up in that house, it won't take much time at all before the whole venture crashes and burns.
No way. From what I see, the Xiao family's business is holding up just fine.
Holding up? What is so fine about it? It was decent those first couple of days. I'll give you that. Now the biggest steamed bun joint in town is peddling water buffalo. Milk buns too. Hawking M from dawn till dusk. And the Xiao family's left with zilch. Mrs. He, you call me a jinx. Why not turn that mirror on yourself? If my foster mom hadn't married into your family, she might not have ended up mauled to death by a tiger. It is all 'cause you're the one with that cursed fate. You brought her down and got my mom killed. Mrs. Wu, I'd suggest you show a little kindness, or you'll end up wiping out that hard-earned nest egg your Wu family scraped together, till there is nothing left.
That sting from the thorny switch, whipping you that day, it is burned into his mind. He didn't utter a word, just slunk off home in shame. The big buffalo grazed on that special grass from his hidden patch, pushing the milk quality up another level.
Sister-in-law, don't you think today's buffalo milk buns taste even better than the last few days? Huh? Yeah, they're even sweeter and more fragrant.
The Xiao family's buffalo milk quality has soared, and the milk they sell in town, plus those buns, sell out almost every single day. One day, a carriage rolled up to the Xiao family gate, and out stepped Wu the steward, clad in fine brocade. Wu introduced himself as the manager of a shop over in Yongge Prefecture. His master had sampled the Xiao family's buffalo milk and buns, and now he wanted to place an order.
Wu, our family's buffalo milk buns. My dad has the final say, so if you've got business, take it straight to him. We've been split off from the main branch for ages. Dad and Uncle 3 are the ones who make the milk buns.
Ah, I see. If I place an order for 800 buffalo milk buns at once, could you cut the price a bit? Each bun barely turns a profit as it is, and after covering travel costs, 1 penny apiece. It is honestly pretty steep.
No matter if you are after 800 or 8,000 today, our family's price won't budge an inch. The rock bottom price is still 1 yuan apiece.
Back in the day, around this time, sellers would always panic that the buyer might walk away, so they'd slash the price themselves. But Xiao Guancheng just sat there rock steady, not twitching a muscle. Steward Wu talked his lips raw, but couldn't shave off even a single yuan. In the end, with no other choice, he had to go along with Xiao Guancheng's terms. 1 yuan per buffalo milk bun. First thing tomorrow morning, Steward Wu sent a cart to haul him away. If we're late on delivery, Xiao Guancheng forks over 2 taels of silver to Steward Wu.
Either way, what if you don't show up to collect?
Little miss, I'm the steward for a big shot household over in Yongge Prefecture. How could I possibly renege on a few buns worth of coin?
Steward, better we get it all down in black and white. You are ordering 800 buffalo milk buns from us, so fork over 800 wen up front. If we can't deliver on time, we'll cough up 8 taels of silver.
Steward Wu never figured a country girl like her would know all these tricks.
800 wen covers the buns. The extra 200 wen is your deposit. Soon as these buns pass muster with my master, you'll be getting steady orders from us for milk and buns. No doubt about it.
Steward, well, we're just small-time operators here. No funny business. Keep that 200 wen for now. Next time you place an order for buns, just pay for the buns, straight up.
Steward Wu hadn't pegged Su Wanshu for such a tough cookie. No choice. So I had to agree.
Uncle Wan, don't pay any mind to all that idle gossip from folks outside. You're no jinx, are you? You're our family's little lucky star. Ever since the day you married into our family, all the hardships our Xiao family faced just melted away like that. From here on out, our lives are only gonna get brighter and better.
Grandma, you really think I'm your little lucky star?
Of course. That wandering old Taoist made it crystal clear. Once Xiaoyan takes a wife, he'll make it to adulthood. After that, our Xiao family will bask in endless riches and glory.
All right, as long as you believe I'm your little lucky star, Grandma, then that is exactly what I am.
The next morning, bright and early, Su Wanshu and Xiang Moyan led that dry-milking big buffalo straight to Li Zhang and Liu Sanhu.
Li Zhang, I was wondering if the village could let us buy this buffalo for our family.
Little uncle, why in the world would you want to take home a buffalo that won't give milk?
Li Zhang, I just want to raise this buffalo myself. I want to show the whole village that Su Wanshu ain't no jinx. I'll get this big buffalo milking again. No doubt about it.
Sanhuya, go ahead and sell this old buffalo to Su Wanshu. I'm curious to see just how she'll get this old cow producing milk again.
Airy, you can count on it. I won't let you down. Not one bit.
With Liu Airy putting in a good word for Su Wanshu, Su Wanshu snapped up that big buffalo, and the deal was sealed without a hitch.
Xiaoyan, you've gone and slipped all that nightshade to the village cows, haven't you?
Every last bit, even those the bulls over there.
Perfect. Tomorrow's gonna be quite a spectacle.
The next day, as the villagers headed out to milk the cows, all 6 of the village's milking cows have suddenly stopped giving milk. The villagers chime in one after another, talking about how the big cows aren't giving any milk. If it was just one cow not giving milk, that'd be Su Wanshu's curse at work. But all 6 big cows in the village suddenly drying up like this, there must be something fishy going on.
Uncle Chi, can you spot any clues here?
San Ha.
I'm afraid someone's deliberately poisoned our village's water buffaloes.
Uncle Chi, isn't this just a regular blade of grass?
This isn't any ordinary grass. It is nightshade grass.
Feel it carefully.
The leaves on nightshade grass are smoother. Why doesn't the regular grass feel rough?
Liu Yang was quick on the uptake, so he grabbed a few bundles of the grass we'd been feeding the buffaloes and opened them up.
Uncle Chi, look, there is nightshade grass mixed in here.
Uncle Liu Qi stepped forward to inspect each one, and not a single blade of nightshade in any of the regular grass bundles.
Someone's out to sabotage our village.
Village head Li, you gotta track down whoever's behind this dirty trick. We can't just swallow this loss.
Village head Lai, I've got an idea. I heard folks say any sickle that is cut nightshade grass gets coated with wood ash lye, and it'll show a blue stain on the blade.
Yeah, that is a real thing. Back in the day, when we couldn't afford colored cloth, we'd go cut some nightshade grass, mash it up and dye our fabric blue.
Liu Sanhu perked up at that another trick up our sleeve. He had someone whip up a big basin of wood ash lye right away to go door-to-door checking. Sickles?
Little Yan, what do you need our sickle for?
The village head's inspecting sickles.
Village head Li, why check our sickle?
Xiaomo racked his brain for a bit, and finally, the words, nightshade grasses clicked.
Village head Li! Our sickle's been sitting in the shed all along. Hasn't been touched in days. How could it have cut nightshade grass?
The village buffaloes got poisoned. Xiao Sulan's back in town.
Let him speak.
Li Zheng, my hands are made for embroidery work. Normally, My mom won't even let me wash the clothes, so how could I go cutting nightshade grass to poison the village's big water buffalo? Besides, I've got no grudge against the village at all. No reason to go stirring up trouble like that for nothing.
Xiao Sulan figured no one saw her cutting those 2 handfuls of nightshade grass that day. But 4 or 5 young lads all stepped forward at once, swearing it was Xiao Sulan who cut it.
Sulan, how could you be so foolish?
The whole village is counting on selling that buffalo milk to raise silver for fixing up the ancestral hall. How can you face our ancestors after pulling something like this?
Li Zhe, Xiao Sulan's got such a venomous heart. You can't go easy on her now. With the losses from not being able to sell buffalo milk for the next half year or more, her family ought to foot the bill.
Yeah, we never would have guessed. Xiao Sulan with that pretty face of hers, but a heart black as coal inside. Any man who marries you, his whole family's in for a world of bad luck.
You little snake. You nearly forced the villagers to cough up their own silver to cover the buffalo milk shortfall. I'll beat you to death at your age, not learning right from wrong. How'd you pick up these twisted, underhanded tricks?
No, I swear, I didn't feed nightshade grass to the village's big water buffalo. That day, I only cut 2 handfuls of nightshade grass and fed it all to the water buffalo at Su Wanshu's place.
Xiao Sulan, cornered and desperate under the onslaught, couldn't hold it in anymore and blurted out the whole truth.
You really are some sister, aren't you? What the hell did our family ever do to you? And you strike at us with such cruel poison. If it weren't for your dad begging on our behalf, those other 2 buffaloes could still be giving milk. Now our family's on the hook to pay out 8 taels of silver. How could you have a heart like that?
Uncle Man, I know I was wrong. Please forgive me just this once.
Xiaoyan, help me unfold this white cotton cloth.
Zhang Muyan gripped a wooden stick, gently stirring the cotton cloth in the barrel to make the color soak in more evenly.
Little uncle, is dyeing cloth really that straightforward?
Yeah, it is just that simple. I prepared this red dye ages ago. Just drop it in the water.
Xiao Guancheng and Xiao Miyan together spread out the freshly dyed red brocade to dry in the courtyard.
Look at how gorgeous this red brocade is. We'll take it to town and sell it. It is got to fetch a good price.
The dye Grandma uses for this red brocade is really hard to come by. Last time Xiaoyan and I headed up the mountain to harvest some cow grass, we only found that tiny patch. Who knows when we'll stumble on more. If you're keen on dyeing cloth and selling it in town, next time we'll dye up some blue-tinted ones to sell there too.
Once the red brocade was fully dried, Xiao Guancheng finally remembered to divvy up the earnings from selling water, milk, and steamed buns, and the silver. Everyone gathered in the main hall, where Xiao Guancheng laid the ledger out on the table. From selling water this past month, milk, and the steamed buns, after subtracting the labor costs, we're left with a pure profit of 35 taels and 500 wen. Gazing at the pile of silver fragments on the table, everyone felt a swell of deep emotion.
Mom, like we agreed from the start, the 3 families split it evenly. 10 tiles to each household, and the leftover 5 taels and 500 wen go toward flour and hiring help.
With that, Xiao Guancheng counted out the silver and placed it before Grandma Xiao, Yang Gua, and Xiao Guanjie. Xiao Guanjie's fingers trembled just a bit as he picked up the silver from the table, his eyes instantly brimming with tears. Back in the day, he'd rise before dawn and toil late into the night selling wontons in town. That is just a few hundred wen after a whole month. Now she pulls in 10 taels of silver a month. He pinched his own arm hard. His arm stung like crazy. But this ain't no dream.
Third uncle, seeing all this silver got you beaming, huh?
Xiao Guanjie nodded vigorously, practically bursting with joy.
I'm thrilled too. With all this silver, we could snag a whole basket of osmanthus candy.
Guancheng, since you've gone and bought another hillside, planning to grow melons and fruits to sell, how about you hand over that buffalo steamed bun gig to your big brother?
We keep the good fortune in the family foundry. All this business in and out of the field stays right here with our own kin. Dad, have you forgotten who it was that fed our family's buffalo, those wild orchids?
Oh dear, that was just me, Sudan, being foolish in the moment. Our buffalo milk steamed buns are selling like hotcakes. And just look how hard your big brother's family is scraping by. As his little brother,
if you can lend a hand, why not?
You stubborn old goat. If you keep spouting that nonsense, you can just pack up and go live with your eldest boy.
What I'm saying ain't wrong, even if we've already split the household.
But why hold back like that? If the eldest had himself a real moneymaker, you tell me, deep down, would he let the second or third son muscle in on it? You old mule. If you still can't get it through your thick skull, don't come crying when I turn on you cold. Back when I kept the second son at arm's length, it was 'cause I feared his fate carried too much bad juju, like he wouldn't last long. But now everything's turned out alright. So don't think I'll keep acting like before. If you set me off again, I'll march right over to the village head and get you shipped off to live with the eldest.
He let out a cold snort, stood up, turned on his heel, and stomped back inside. The Zhao family paid him no mind. They grabbed their hoes and headed off to the cornfield together.
The crops are coming up real nice this year, ain't they? The Bao. When are your little ones gonna start chattering away? Come on, Bao. Flash a grin at your sister-in-law.
Bao's a real little social butterfly. But the second Su Wanshu gave him a poke, he let out a big wail and started bawling, giving Su Wanshu quite the scare.
Bao, you hungry, little guy?
The moment Zhao Zhao scooped up Bao, he quit his fussing cold turkey. He snuggled right up on his mama's shoulder, staring down Su Wan and blowing bubbles at her. Su Wanshu just knew this tiny tot had her all fooled. She'd finish her homework and pull faces at Bao every single morning, but Bao wouldn't crack a smile. While Dabao in the bamboo basket cracked up so hard he started hiccuping.
Dabao's the sweet one, hands down.
Xiao Muyan is such a henpecked hubby, trailing after his wife like her little shadow. Xiao Muyan is scared of his wife, Naughty! Naughty! So, Naughty! Xiao Muyan is scared of his wife and doesn't even care who knows it.
You keep yapping like that, and watch out, I'll beat you till you're picking your teeth off the ground.
The kids probably got a bit spooked and scattered like a flock of startled birds at Xiao Muyan's shout, bolting into the nearby alley.
Xueyan, why'd those kids suddenly tease you about being scared of your wife?
Jinbao and Tai Niu were saying that I haven't dared to go splashing in the river lately, 'cause I'm always glued to your side. So they figured I'm just scared of my wife. Little uncle, I love being with you. It is not 'cause I'm scared of you.
Xiaoyan, it is getting so hot out, and all the village boys are always heading down to the river for a splash. You wanna join them too?
Xiao Muyan paused for a moment and gave a little nod. He really did want to hop in and play.
Xiaoyan, once we head down from the mountain, you can take me to check out the riverbank. We'll see if we can find a spot where it is nice and shallow. That way, you can play in the safe shallows.
Okay. Little uncle, look over there. There is a mountain spring.
Su Wanshu followed Xiao Muyan's pointing finger. Sure enough, there, halfway up the slope, was a spring the size of a wash basin, trickling out just a tiny stream, which meandered down the hillside a short way before spilling into a rocky gully.
Let's dig around it and see how deep the spring runs.
No matter what we plant up on this mountain, they're all gonna need watering. And tapping into this mountain spring just might solve our irrigation woes down the line. Xiao Muyan had the brawn for it, so he yanked up a sturdy branch, gently widened the spring opening. As he digs deeper and deeper, the flow of water from the spring starts to pick up. Once the opening's about the size of a fist, Su Wanshu can already hear the water rushing.
Not bad. We should round up a few more folks next time. Dig a pond right here to catch and store the water.
At noon, the sun was blazing high. By mid-afternoon, dark clouds had rolled in over the horizon out of nowhere. They'd barely walked the time it takes for a quick cup of tea when bean-sized raindrops came pounding down.
Darling, head this way.
There is a nice big cave down at the base of the cliff. The two of them dashed into the cave to shelter from the storm.
This rain's coming down way too hard.
Wifey, you're feeling cold. Let's build a fire and warm up.
All right. Build a fire, dry our clothes, or else, when the rain lets up soon, we won't be able to head home, looking like drowned rats.
Wifey, you should take your clothes off and dry them too.
Su Wanshu thinks to herself, Xiao Muyan so clueless. He probably doesn't know a thing about this stuff.
Wifey, you cold. Mom always said I was her little furnace. Back when I was a kid, winters were brutal, so she'd always cuddle up to me for warmth.
Su Wanshu gets pulled into Xiao Muyan's firm embrace. Her whole body tenses up. But his warm hug makes Su Wanshu reluctant to pull away.
Who would have thought? You've got abs?
Su Wanshu can't resist and reaches out to feel them.
Wifey, don't touch. Feels weird down there.
Still uncomfortable. Then I gotta check it out even more.
苏婉舒 just as Xiaomuyans got a tummy ache, doesn't think twice about it.
Wifey, it is not my stomach that is bothering me.
So where is it then?
Xiaomuyan's face flushes bright red. He stammers, but says nothing. Instead points to the spot that is aching.
Wifey, what do I do? It is still bugging me.
Su Wanshu feels a chill run down her spine from Xiaomuyan's stare.
Wifey, now, aren't you gonna help me out?
No need to freak out. Aren't you a man? Handle it yourself.
Something this embarrassing. I can't bring myself to do it again.
Wifey, you're scolding me.
Little rascal. I must have owed you big time in my past life.
Su Wanshu squeezes her eyes shut. She turns around to lend a hand. But just her luck. Xiaomuyan's warm, big hands land right where they shouldn't.
Let go.
Wifey, are you hurt? You've got a big old swelling there. Let me blow on it for you.
Like hell I'll blow on that. You sit your butt right there and behave.
Wifey, you're way over there. What about me?
You're really my little handful, aren't ya?
All is void. All is void. All is void.
Savoring the moment, Xiaomuyan nuzzles against Su Wanshu's neck.
Wifey.
What ya up to?
Just want to say your name. That is all.
The satisfied Xiaomuyan snuggles up beside Su Wanshu like a big, lazy cat.
You get everything I taught you today, right?
Next time something like this pops up, handle it yourself. Don't keep running to me every time.
Gotcha.
Little Yan, what goes on in this cave stays our little secret. You can't breathe a word to anyone.
Yeah, whatever you say, wifey.
Yang Guihua.
Right up until yesterday, Xiao Sulan.
You mean about her saving that wild man from the river?
My little uncle mentioned it to me yesterday. That Sulan saved the man. What is up with that? Did that man pull through?
Yeah, he made it. I heard folks saying. Over at the medicine hall. They're treating that man like a bodhisattva now.
In the middle of all this rain. She went all the way to town to fetch a doctor.
Oh, and?
He braved the downpour to buy a whole cartload of stuff. And bring it back.
Who knows where Xiao Sulan got such incredible luck?
She actually fished out the god of wealth himself. I've heard about it too.
Wang Feng was out yesterday afternoon, bragging about it left and right.
Saying how his Sulan jumped into the river after the guy. And got her clothes soaked through. No way she'll marry anyone else now.
Xiao Sulan, what on earth did you do to piss off the heavens like that? That it is backlashing right onto me.
The ruthless monk linked Xiao Sulan's and Su Wanshu's good fortunes together, and even helped Xiao Suran snatch Ye Zhenqing's fortune too. But just moments ago, both those talisman links snapped clean. The formless monk got hit with a backlash and spat up blood right there. Yang Guihua sewn Su Wanshu a stunning Ruquan skirt out of Yunluo brocade. Her embroidery skills are top-notch. She even added a border of auspicious cloud patterns along the hem, making the whole Ruquan look even more elegant and poised.
No telling when this relentless rain will finally let up. If this downpour doesn't ease soon, the wheat and upland rice are done for.
Mom,
look at how overcast the sky is. Doesn't look like it is stopping anytime soon.
If most of the towns are getting hammered like this, the whole Yonge prefecture is in for a real disaster. Day 11 finally dawns. The heavy clouds overhead finally break. Villagers rush out to the fields all at once.
What kind of hell is this we've brought down on ourselves? 10 straight days of pounding rain. Never seen anything like it in my life.
My whole family of 6 was counting on these 2 acres of wheat to scrape by, and now the fields are wiped out. How are we gonna make it through the rest of the year?
It is not just Nanfang village that is hit hard. Most of Yonge prefecture got swept away by the downpour. A few days later, the Xiao family's big 2-courtyard house is finally all patched up. When Xiao Guancheng brings up moving out, Grandpa Xiao shuts it down cold. Xiao Guancheng says, if we're moving, we gotta take most of the stored grain from the warehouse, naturally.
You ungrateful whelp! I'm still breathing, and you're already hustling to split the grain. You trying to wish me into the grave!
Grandpa, didn't we split the family a long time back? So why can't I take my share of the grain?
What would a dope like you know about it?
Hey, that grain in the storeroom, how exactly you planning to carve it up?
Our side grabs half. The other half splits straight down the middle, between your grandma and third uncle.
Second brother. I can't take that much grain. Back when you were selling buffalo milk and steamed buns, you already cut me in on the profits. And that corn in the warehouse, it is all from the wasteland you bought and planted yourself. I don't want a single pound.
You little punk. You even grasp what you're spouting. You turned down the grain. How is your wife and kids supposed to eat?
It ain't mine to claim. I ain't tucking it.
The whole clan's turning red-faced, bickering fierce over splitting the grain. Right about then, 萧冠丽向了萧素兰 step into the courtyard together. Su Wanshu spots the two carrying a pair of empty bamboo baskets. She wonders if these two are here to borrow some grain.
Sister, what brings you two here?
When Shao Guangli hears there is still a good stock of grain in the family warehouse, his eyes light right up.
Switch. That is where you're wrong. With you and Mom still around, who ask for your 2 cents. That's word is still law in this house.
Uncle, if you got nothing nice to say, keep your mouth shut. Nobody's tacking you for a mute. That grain in the storehouse ain't got a dime to do with you. You sticking your nose in like this. Ain't that just asking for trouble? Grandpa, I've got just the idea. You've been feeling out of place here anyway. Right. How about you move in with your eldest uncle? Sure. Go live with your uncle there. And we'll naturally set aside some grain for you.
How much we talking?
100 pounds of dried corn. From here on out, Grandpa stays with the eldest uncle, and Grandma comes to live with us.
It is settled. Whether it is churning buffalo milk,
or steaming buns,
or planting corn come summer. Stubborn old coot, you ain't lifted a finger to help. Besides, didn't you say the eldest son's place treats you fine? So, from now on, just bunk down with the eldest family.
But 100 pounds of corn's a bit stingy.
Stingy? If Grandpa ain't on board, then keep crashing at third uncle's. Our house won't spare you a single pound.
萧冠丽向江素兰 exchange a knowing glance. They figure they'll take the 100 pounds of corn first, and sort the rest later.
Xiaoyang, don't go running around the village these days. If you catch that wind cold bug, you'll have to choke down some really bitter medicine.
Sis, stuck at home all day, it is driving me nuts.
And my wife's not even in the mood to fool around anymore.
Can't you see your wife's got her hands full? And you're not lifting a finger. Yet here you are, holding her back like it is no big deal.
I was gonna help out, but she just rolls her eyes at me. Says I'm all thumbs and no good.
Always the drama with you, kid. Go help your mom fire up the Kang instead. We're moving into the new place tomorrow.
Dad, we're moving tomorrow, so shouldn't we set off a bunch more firecrackers at home?
I've got the firecrackers ready already. The whole village has been so gloomy lately, hoping these will scare off all that sick energy.
Early the next morning, Shao Guancheng lit up a string of 10,000 red firecrackers right at the courtyard gate. The whole Nanfeng village perked up from the Shao family's fireworks show.
Folks in the village, I've got a solid formula here for treating wind cold, and it works pretty well. So if anyone's come down with it at home, feel free to swing by my place and grab a copy.
Uncle Wan, it is not the formula we're short on in this village. It is the herbs we can't get our hands on. You wouldn't believe it. But the clinic in town these last couple days forget about wind-cold remedies. Even stuff for headaches and fevers got snapped up in no time flat.
Tell me about it. I got up before dawn this morning and lined up at the clinic to grab some meds, but halfway through, they announced everything was sold out. Looks like we won't see any shipments for at least a couple more days.
I've spotted a few kinds of herbs up on the mountain. If you trust me, then come along with me to gather them. As long as we've got medicine to take, this wind cold flu in the village will be beaten back in no time.
Uncle Ha, you know your herbs. We're all just rough country folk. Wouldn't know one if it bit us.
Of course. Come up the mountain with me, everyone. I'll show you one by one how to spot the right herbs.
Oh gosh, Su Wangshu, you can't let a pretty face cloud your judgment.
The first thing Su Wangshu did after moving in was to heat up a big tub full of hot water just for herself.
Xiaoyang, put those 2 buckets down. Go sit with Mom in her room for a bit first. I'll call you back in once I'm done bathing.
Why can't I stay in the room? While you're bathing. Does that mean I can't even stay?
I told you to go to Mom's room, so just go. No need for all that chatter.
Su Wanshu leaning against the tub's edge, inhaled the rich floral scent, and finally let herself unwind. Just as she hummed a tune, savoring the moment, the door creaked open behind her.
How'd you get back so quick?
You won't even let me stay in the room. And just shoo me out like that. No one likes Xiaoyan anymore. I'm really mad right now.
Xiaoyan, how about you go? Sit with Grandma for a while. I'll be done soon.
You all don't like Xiaoyan anymore. Won't even let Xiaoyan stay in the room. Xiaoyan's super mad right now.
Then turn around. No peeking. Grab the clothes from the bed for me.
Oh.
Didn't I tell you not to turn around?
If I don't turn, how am I supposed to hand you the clothes?
She hurriedly threw on her clothes, leaving Su Wanshu utterly drained.
Xiaoyan.
Why are you taking a bath now?
We boil so much water in the kitchen. It'd be a waste not to use it.
But that is the water I already used.
Bath water used by the wife is always sweet smelling.
Hurry up and wash. It is getting late. We should turn in early.
Little uncle, scrub my back for me.
You really don't hold back like a guest. You rascal.
The 4 elements are all empty.
The 4 elements are all empty.
Form is emptiness. Oh my god.
Su Wanshu.
You can't let beauty cloud your mind.
Beauty hangs a knife over your head.
And it is razor sharp.
Wifey, you smell so good. Now I smell just like you.
Go crash in your own bed. You're way too toasty.
No, I want to sleep wrapped around my sweet wifey.
Shao Moyan stuck to Su Wanshu's side like glue. No matter how hard she kicked him, or what she said, he just wouldn't let go.
Brother-in-law, do you want to find your birth parents?
Uncle Wan, for all the years I raised you, just give me a bit more medicine. I've got nothing valuable left to offer.
Hold it right there. Don't feed me that nonsense here. I'm laying it down plain today. If you don't bring something that really catches my eye, you won't get a single herb from me.
Su Wanshu, you sneaky little wench. I'll let you strut around for a couple days.
While I shake off this damn wind cold.
Then I'll deal with you proper.
Wu Shan stood in the Shao family courtyard, coughing for the time it takes to brew a cup of tea, before grudgingly muttering he'd go fetch something else.
Fine. As long as what you bring is worth the price. Xiaoyan, light up a fire torch in a bit, and fumigate inside and out. These wind cold bugs are no joke.
Besides this quilt we have at home, there is nothing else that belongs to you, Uncle Wan. You tell me, is this worth the medicine you're trading?
Sure. I'll front you 6 doses today. Come back tomorrow morning for the rest. I'll make damn sure to cure your whole family's wind cold. Now, once it is cleared up, if your folks catch another wind cold, that is on you, not me.
Wu Shan set down the precious quilt, grabbed the medicine, and took off.
Brother-in-law, you might not have been abandoned in the woods after all. Someone stole you right out of our home, Grandma says. Do you know the story behind this precious quilt?
Turns out, this 5 treasure quilt not only has that exquisite, pricey embroidery on the back, but each string of little copper coins at the 4 corners comes from a different temple. Last night, I heard Grandma Shao describe the rough locations of those 4 temples. I couldn't help but feel a quiet shock inside. With the pace of carriages and boats these days, to craft this 5 treasure quilt, it must have taken more than a year just to visit all 4 temples. One mother, one family, so full of hope for this child. How could they abandon him the moment he was born? The only thing that adds up is the child was taken away by force.
Little uncle, do you want to find your birth parents?
Su Wanshu fell silent for a moment, then nodded.
There is one approach that might just work. Head to the temples and ask about those copper coins, then seal them into the 5 treasure quilt. All of them came from year-round donations at the temples. You could go to those temples and have the abbots check their records. There might be some leads.
Our Sulan's a lucky little lad. I've already told ya. Once he is on the mend, Sulan can marry right in. That little master's the talk of the town, a big merchant in Yonga Prefecture.
One Lai Baro. Once you strike it rich, don't you go forgetting us brothers. Here.
You bet. Once Sulan weds into Yonga Prefecture, we sure as shootin' won't forget our brothers.
How is a fella that loaded gonna fancy a simple village girl like Xiao Sulan? Xiao Sulan's a sweet simpleton. Must have been hoodwinked by Xiao Jingzhi. But none of that is got a dime to do with him.
Good heavens! Arnu, where on earth did you haul in all these white medicine vines?
We used to forage these white medicine vines all the time back in the day, hawking them to the town apothecary for a handful of coppers, but then they quit tacking them. So we dropped it.
Now with these dozen bundles of white medicine vines on hand, Su Wanshu set straight to bundling them into torches, bound to fumigate every nook and cranny of the village.
Anyo, got a chore for you lads. Pretty soon, light up these torches along the village's main lanes. 1 every 10 paces. If they burn low and you need more, swing back. I'll hook you up.
Uncle One, what is the plan with these torches?
This wind-cold scourge in the village just won't let up, so I reckoned we'd give the whole place a good fumigatin, weeping out every last one of those viruses. Then the folks knock back some wind-cold remedies, and they'll be fit as fiddles before you know it.
Hey, let me lend a hand bundling these.
Count me in.
Su Wanshu never figured so many would step up to help.
We won't need all y'all.
But the more hands, the quicker the job. And in no time flat, those dozen bundles of white medicine vines were all bundled into torches. Arnu and the lads moved quick too. Before long, thick white smoke billowed up from every corner of the village. That evening, someone brought over a basket of fresh greens. Though these greens ain't worth much. In these hard times, they're treasured all the same.
The capping ceremony. How come we haven't seen that fine young master of yours make an appearance? He is way too delicate for his own good, huh? Kept cooped up at home day in, day out.
A few days back, the young master caught that nasty wind chill. He's been stuck in bed, recovering ever since. Plenty of folks in the village are still laid up with wind chill themselves. So we didn't dare let him step out. What if something happened to him? All this family glory and wealth would go up in smoke.
Your family doesn't really need to wait for Sulan to take the vows. You know, no telling where Su Wanshu scraped up all that silver from. But she has been buying up herbs left and right around here. And you're her uncle after all. Just have her slip you a bit of that cash, and you'd be living easy too.
Sure. The second brother's got silver to burn, and I'm just glad for him, naturally. Come quick. What is really going on with the young master? I just get the sense his constitution's on the frail side. Folks around the village with wind chill, most of them bounce back fine. Even the ones who look like a stiff breeze could knock them over. A few doses of medicine and some rest, and they're good as new. But young Master Xiao, he is not getting any better. If anything, that cough's gotten fiercer these last couple days.
Father, no need to fret. Young Master Xiao's wind chill is bound to clear up soon.
Ever since Xiao Sulan saved Xiao Jingzhi's life, she hasn't set foot in Lanruo Temple again. But Xiao Jingzhi's wind chill just won't let up, leaving Xiao Sulan with no other choice. She steels herself and heads back to Lanruo Temple to get answers from the Heartless Monk. Worst case, she'll have to pull out a few more tricks and keep the Heartless Monk company a time or two more.
Xiao, my benefactress. Truth is, I really can't help you this time. No idea what heaven-hating, people-cursing deed you've gone and done. It actually brought down a natural disaster. I performed those 2 rituals for you, and they all went up in smoke, and I ended up with internal injuries myself.
Master, so could you lend a hand one more time? I promise I won't let you do it for nothing.
With that, Xiao Sulan began to slip off her outer robe.
Benefactor Xiao, if you want me to step in and help again, a tarnished flower like you hardly qualifies. Besides, I'm done performing rituals to steal fortune for you.
This damn monk's had his fill. Now, he just wants to toss her aside.
Master, how about we trade some heavenly secrets to divine what is blocking my path ahead, and I'll glimpse where your own road leads in the future.
You can see my future.
Lately, someone's been urging you to head to the capital, haven't they?
So, Benefactor Xiao, what do you want to know?
There is one thing weighing on my mind, and I just want to check if I'm right about it.
Benefactor Xiao, you really can't judge by appearances. With just a stir in your heart, it is a matter of one person's life. But indeed, that life is standing in the way of your fortune. If you eliminate it, it'll rewrite your destiny. But at the same time, if that person truly vanishes, the whole realm could plunge into chaos.
Xiao Sulan fell silent at the ruthless monk's words.
Since someone's come to invite you to the capital, there is no need to hesitate, Master. Once you reach the capital, you'll be one step closer to becoming the Imperial Preceptor.
With that, Xiao Sulan turned and walked away. Becoming the imperial preceptor had long been the ruthless monk's burning ambition. Yet, he'd never whispered a word of it to anyone. So how did Xiao Sulan know? He was finding Xiao Sulan more and more intriguing. With a face that looks so utterly innocent and harmless, yet her mind is always plotting to claim others' lives. Someone so delightfully twisted, and he actually rather likes it.